This podcast contains offensive language. You have been warned, fuckers.
And now I went to my scalpsy. Ariella will get me a 100 Nazi scalpsy, taken from the heads of 100 dead Nazis. Or you will die trying. More than a week since we've last gotten together, but here we all are at Wes's fine casa. I'm John Benson. Sitting next to me is the owner of his fine household, Wes Powell.
Hello.
Over there next to him is Sean Ferguson.
Hey.
And to my left is Eric Osborne.
Hey, people.
Let's just NPR this for the
We're
rest
really
of the
we're really sad today because we're going to reminisce about the summer that's already gone. Because Eric has to go back to school.
I know. I'm going back to the JOB. I'm a school teacher for trade and an artist by night. So.
And my dad's
school.
dog died this
Did he
weekend.
really?
Yes.
Which one?
Dutch.
Oh.
He was 17.
God damn, we're getting really dark. Just
This true. Don't
dig
laugh
us
at
out.
Wow,
Jesus.
this is. Let me uplift our spirits.
Please.
Literally,
So,
we're going to uplift some spirits.
So last time we came here and we drank some foul shit.
My apologies.
But in Eric's defense, it was bought on a whim because it looked awesome.
It did
And it
come in a
sounded
pink
awesome.
bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And so I vowed this week that I would bring something. And what I have brought for us is a Belgian ale called Merid Sue. It is a triple. This is
the
one
polar
of my
opposite
favorites.
of last week.
It's kind of a mid-range Belgian as far as price is concerned. I don't consider myself a beer snob. I consider myself a beer lover. I will drink almost any beer. So go ahead, give it a swish.
No strave.
give it a
No
sniff.
strave. No strave. Flick.
Whatever that means.
Flick.
Yeah. That's really good.
Yeah.
It's
First
got kind
of
of
all-
a caramel aftertaste.
Yeah.
Whatever is on the opposite end of the spectrum of that voodoo.
Voodoo donut.
This is
This
it.
falls somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So
This is
interesting,
delightful.
interesting factoid. I think honestly, any bartender worth their salt grows to love beer, liquor, or wine. I really got into beer after I got done bartending and got a real job.
I don't know you were a bartender.
And yeah,
How long did you have that?
8 years.
Okay.
8 years.
So
But yeah, go ahead.
this is something about this beer reminds me of Sapporo.
Sapporo is an ale.
They're both ales, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a white ale.
But isn't Sapporo made with rice?
Mm-hmm.
Are ales made with rice?
No, it's.
I didn't know
part of how it's
Sapporo
made.
was made with rice.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, the way that Belgian ale specifically is made is actually it was made to replace a meal.
It's made with bells and gin.
So it was actually it originally was made
Belgian.
for breakfasts.
And the elves.
So the monks them drink it for breakfast, work all day, and then they would eat dinner. But they would have a huge stein of this stuff, and then they
God,
started
those
selling
monks
it.
had it figured out.
Das-
Later on, when they wanted to start making some income to kind of further the charity work, they started selling their ale in the local communities. And Merid Sue is actually from the Merid Sue Abbey, so it's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, beer can be just as sophisticated as any wine, and it gets a blue collar rap, and I don't know why, because I've had some freaking terrible wines, but I love ales.
That's so good.
I think I'd take the blue collar rap versus the Valley Girl.
Oh,
With
trophy
Brett
wine.
Sir?
With the vocal
Type of-
fry. Oh my god.
That's wine.
That's pretty spot on.
I have,
Very
stu-
much.
I have 13-year-old girls that I teach in class that try this hat on with an Okie accent.
Right. Oh, it's even
I know.
worse.
It's like, oh, you're trying so hard.
Well, if you're interested, we'll post up a picture of the Merid Sue bottle. It comes in different varieties: double, triple.
I am quite satisfied with this.
Blonde. It's got all sorts.
How's the
of
blonde?
flavors. Blonde is pretty excellent. You can actually get the
Blondes are
blonde
always
at or something similar to the Merid Sue blonde, Hefe blonde, at S&B Burger But
They have it at S&B?
not Merit Sue, but they have a close one.
Oh, okay.
EFA.
Oh man! For those of you guys that don't know, S&B Burger is
It's legit.
It's
That's
the
the
legit.
jam.
It is like the
Hey,
best
what we
burger
talked
joint I've
about.
ever
Yeah,
been
we
to.
talked about that. Like,
Food.
I
yeah,
can't
but that
remember.
was in our
Long
poop
ago.
Oh, the
cast.
poop
The
That was in the poop
foodcast.
cast.
Yeah.
The poop foodcast.
Yeah.
And if you want to enjoy Merit Sue the way that it's intended to be enjoyed, you want to take it out of the refrigerator and let it sit for at least half an hour just so it gets cool. You don't want to drink it ice cold.
I can see that.
Some people, however, do like it ice cold, and I would never knock you for drinking a beer how you like to drink it.
Would you ever drink it for breakfast?
I have had it for breakfast, actually. I have had it for
That's where
breakfast.
you
I'll have to
start
try
your
that.
day.
That's actually where I was introduced to it. So
Fantastic.
It was a love affair at first sight. So I have ordered something special from New Zealand for the next time I bring
Nah.
beer. But whoever's up next,
You're putting the pressure on because I know.
I love it. I love this. I like this game.
bring that.
This is good.
I'm
Someone's
bringing
gonna
us
help me
a
out.
black beer from New Zealand. That's probably my favorite beer in the world, and it is actually the lightest black beer I have ever had.
Okay.
It's not heavy like a milk stout or even a stout. It's a black lager, but it's dark. It's really good.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna have to do some research because
Yeah, really.
I don't have anything that
I
can
like-
compare to
You
this.
should,
None of us have
if
learned
you're
yet.
interested in getting into beer lore. I got lucky. I worked with a guy named Mike Harbin at Furnace Manufacturing, my first job out of college in design, and he was a huge beer fanatic. And he went to Portland every year to the Great American Beer Festival, where Portland has more microbreweries per capita than anywhere else in the world.
I didn't know that.
It's a huge beer community, and he brought me back a couple of like
Freaking
stickers
liberal-
and some swag, but he brought me back a book
Liberal media
by
agenda.
Michael Jackson called the Beer Encyclopedia.
Was that just Oklahoma coming?
And Michael Jackson, not that one. He's actually a renowned, was a renowned beer critic. He
Poor
was
guy.
British, an older dude, kind of heavy set, had a goatee and a fro. But he was really spot on about beer, and I kind of just went on a little tasting to go through all those beers. And I think I made it into the J's before I gave up because I just started picking at random.
I'm just picturing like a chubby Bob Ross who's British.
That's exactly what he is.
That's awesome.
And he, as Bob Ross was to painting, Michael Jackson was to beer, and
I'm just gonna drink a little
He
happy
is-
beer right here.
he's pretty
I
incredible.
apparently have some fruit flies.
Well, they're attracted to it. Another great thing, if you have a pet and you get fleas, take a dark beer like a Shiner or something
I've
like
heard
that,
this too.
or a Newcastle Brown, pour it in a bowl, and then salt the carpet around it, and the fleas will jump in, and then they won't jump out.
I've also heard you can. This is getting way nerdy about beer, but you can pour beer on plants to help use it like instead of an insecticide. It's an organic solution to keep bugs off your plants.
I gave my cat a bath last night because he's got fleas. That wasn't fun.
Should have covered him in beer.
Right? That's where I thought you were going with
Yeah.
that.
No,
Just bathe them in
when you
beer.
salt the carpet, I use like the big rock salt or whatever, and it dehydrates them as they're like jumping around on the carpet because you can deflea your cat or your dog, but they're gonna be like in the
You can get
house.
them right back.
And they immediately go for that oasis of liquid, and then they jump in, and then they don't jump out because it's too thick.
Awesome.
So I hadn't given Nanook
Might
like
have to
flea
do that.
killer in like 3 years, and he never
Well.
gets fleas.
Knock on wood.
Well, I did. I got him some like.
Yeah, you will.
Whenever I took him to the vet the last time, I went ahead and got him like a 6-month shot just to be safe. But he just never really got fleas. I don't know if it's because of the long hair or what.
Maybe he just doesn't hang out with other dogs.
That's probably one thing.
I'm good. Steve John.
Maybe his blood doesn't.
I had
taste
one for
very good.
lunch.
Good man.
I bought 2 of those and enjoyed one.
I have this.
at lunch.
I have this bad tendency that if I don't see anything morally wrong, I forget that it's illegal sometimes. And I almost brought a beer to my job the other day. Not the other day, last year. I
Right,
should say.
right.
I was like-
Always slightly
I was like, man,
illegal.
wouldn't it be great to have a beer with my sandwich at work? It's like, and I started to put it in my lunch bag. It's like, wait a minute, I teach in a public school.
Right.
This is grounds for firing.
Right.
This happens to me so often. Like, this is one time I was hanging out with my buddy Bob, and Bob is a
That's why you put in a cream soda bottle.
he is a fantastic human being, a super talented tattoo artist, love him to death. But in his past and so on, he has been had a history of being a prolific pothead. And I remember walking around the street with Bob
You'd
one
fit in
day.
great at my office.
Well, see, I'm just saying.
My bosses are cool with it because they do it,
Well,
so they're fine with it.
they're fine with it. Well,
Yeah.
the police aren't. And I remember one time I was walking around town with Bob, and I was like, man, dude, does that cop have a dog? And Bob goes, yeah. I go, I love dogs. I walk up to the officer, can I pet your dog? And the cop's like, yeah, come on. His name is...
His
And-
name's Rin Tin Tin.
And I'm
His
petting,
name is your
I'm petting
fuck.
this dog, and this dog's like giving Bob the evil fucking eye like the entire time. And like, that was cool. Bob, go pet the dog. And Bob's like, nope, I'm cool. And I'm like, dude, wasn't that awesome, Bob? And Bob's like, you mother.
Almost got him.
Yeah.
Ooh, you know what? Where are we going to record next week? I have an idea. Your
My house, yeah.
I'm going to give you a recipe if you want to be next or you want to be next. I'll give you a recipe for beer, for a thing, for a drink. A
Okay.
summer shandy. You'll like it.
I love this.
When you say recipe, that sounds like I have to get
a
multiple
beer
things.
with something else.
So what you're going to do is you're going to take, those frozen cans of pink lemonade.
Mhm.
Take one of those. Take 6 Coors Light or any other shitty beer.
Okay.
It's got to be like low quality, like Natty Light or PBR. It cannot be high quality. It's got to be low.
Something with no flavor.
Something no flavor.
Light.
So 1 can of that frozen, 6 cans of the Coors Light mixed together. Put in a little splash of vodka.
Oh, really?
Alright,
Go
I
time.
can do that. That's just putting.
Go
I'll
time.
try it, but I am skeptical.
Dude.
Because I got those.
It's called a
summer
shandy.
Shandies or whatever.
No, this is legit. This is how you make them.
It can't be worse than like the lunch boxes.
Hey, actually, you remember my Christmas party?
Or do you?
I do. Yeah.
That was our
the punch thing.
that was our featured one of our featured.
I remember the
beverages.
first glass.
You know, I'll be
I
open
don't know
minded.
if I tried that.
I've had some Calimochos before, which is basically just shitty box wine mixed with
Right.
a Coke.
That's no. This is
But
trust me. Like when I first heard about this, I was
That sounds
very
like
skeptical.
cleaning out the booze
It wasn't
refrigerator.
bad. It really wasn't
I
bad.
was extremely skeptical. I was like, oh, this is gonna be disgusting. Then I tried it. It is the best summertime beverage I've ever had. In
Better
my
than
life.
like a mint and julep.
Okay.
Yep. Better than a mint julep. Better than a gentleman's bet. Better than a
Oh,
mojito.
my
I love
My dad
mojitos.
makes
That's
this-
my favorite.
You
My
can
dad
sit on a
makes
porch
this-
and drink this.
All right.
Sip it. It's so amazing.
Oh,
My dad
I got a
makes this
porch. We'll
whiskey
do it
beer.
next week.
I'm gonna get that.
Shotgun on your lap in a rocking chair, Confederate flag.
Play some horseshoes. I got horseshoes.
Okay.
For all those
Sorry.
horses.
My dad makes this drink. It's just like it's like club soda and whiskey and a little bit of lemon, and sometimes he'll put a little bit of salt in it, which you guys may pass on the salt, but oh, it's so
I
fucking
love
good.
sodium.
I'm open.
My doctor
It's
doesn't
so
appreciate it,
good.
but I,
You
I
gotta
love
have more.
sodium.
Yeah. So I'm yeah. We'll give it a chance.
Really grosses me out.
That could be your
but
recipe for the next time.
I don't know that you guys. I put a lot of salt in
We'll
it.
call that the Wesky Dean.
The whiskey, why not?
All right.
fair.
So whoever wants to use the shandy recipe or not, I'll bring it. I don't care.
I'll do
But,
that. I can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's super awesome, and the best part is that's the ratio. So if you want to make a whole bunch for a party, it is 1 can of that frozen concentrate to 6 regular cans of Coors Light
All right.
every time.
Fantastic.
It is absolutely incredible because the Coors Light has no flavor.
No, it's water.
So when you mix it with
It's a garbage
lemonade,
beer.
it's carbonated lemonade.
You know, I always
With a beer base.
I've been to foreign countries a couple of times, and like in East Europe and around Latin America, and we import their garbage beer. We have Tecate, we have their Coronas, and they're like "Pfft,
They import our garbage beer. They love Budweiser.
Budweiser, right?
Budweiser.
They laugh. They laugh at Coors Light. They don't
Budweiser.
even bother with that
I
stuff.
wouldn't either, except to mix it with other stuff now. I have learned my lesson.
Mixing
It's like
beer.
starting at the
Hey.
base
Skeptical.
of water.
I actually
Start
like
with
Coors
7
better than
cups of water.
Budweiser now. I used to drink Budweiser
You were a
all the
Bud
time,
guy, yeah.
but
Budweiser.
I don't know. I like the taste of Coors Original better than
True story.
Budweiser.
True story. When I was a bartender, I worked at a country club and we did a lot of private events, weddings, stuff like that. And we had a family that was coming up from Mexico to see their daughter get married. And so I had been to Mexico and I had enjoyed my time there. And I realized when I was down there that no one drank Tecate, Corona. It
No.
was all Budweiser.
Oh,
And Budweiser. And so
Oh.
the event coordinator was like, what kind of beer should we put out? She's like, you know, do we need like Modelo's? Do we need like Especial? Like all this other stuff, you know, Pacificos? And I'm like, no. You just need Budweiser. And she's like, no one is going to drink Budweiser at this wedding. I'm like, Her family is from Mexico, correct? She's like, yes. And I'm like, where's the groom's family from? She's like, well, I think they're from Baja or Mexico, one of the two. And I'm like, Budweiser. She didn't believe me, so I put out the foreign
Yeah, you
imports, and then I put out 2 cases of Budweiser just chilling, just to show her.
Yeah.
Completely sold out in 10 minutes of the Budweiser.
And they were
No
the
one
cans with
touched
the big
the-
American flag wrapped around it.
Yep.
Yeah.
They were the cans too. They weren't even the
Oh
bottles.
my god.
Because we didn't have any bottles.
But you know, I have this theory that maybe I've heard this thing about Coronas that when they get traveled in the trucks across the border, the heat it dissipates the flavor of
Oh
a good
no,
Corona.
yeah. If you
Right.
have
Maybe if a Budweiser goes across the border, it tastes good on the other side.
No, I tried it on the other side actually.
Tastes the same.
No, it's the same. You can get a bucket of Budweiser for $1.
All right.
But no, actually, I think Corona that gets imported may be good, but the Corona that gets bottled here is crap.
Yeah, my dad works with this Mexican guy, and he goes every time he goes home, he brings back the family bottles of.
Yep.
It's actually called a family bottle.
Yeah, they do that in Europe too.
Well, it's
Which-
kind of like what we just did. I just bought a family bottle and they serve out.
Para todo la familia.
and in Europe, they don't
You know,
cover it in a
some-
paper bag. That's
No.
just expected.
That's just what it is.
Yeah, you and your buddies are pulling from a bottle on the street
Cerveza.
at 2.
True.
Por favor.
Smoking a French cigarette. Oui.
Well, you know, we're talking about summer drinks. What about the summer stood out for you, Sean?
Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim and
I
Man of
saw
Steel.
you got your action figure.
I got my
Man,
action figure.
I want to talk toys so bad.
Let's talk toys. We
Man.
can keep going.
I got some bobbleheads this weekend.
That we'll loop it all into
I
the summer.
almost bought a toy this weekend myself.
Okay, you got the Japanese.
I got Crimson Typhoon, the
Yeah.
3-armed Jaeger. He wasn't my favorite design, but of the 3
Yeah.
toys being offered on
the
Think
knife
Geek,
head, Crimson Typhoon,
and
and
Gypsy Danger.
Gypsy
I
Danger.
want Cherno Alpha, and as
makes
soon as
those?
it comes
Is
out,
that the
I'm getting
Russian? It looks so cool. I was
That
like,
one is my
I
favorite.
cannot wait for that
It
toy.
looks like a humongous rock'em sock'em.
It's
It's
exactly,
exactly
what
what
it
it looks
Because
like.
you know that's what a Russian robot
No
would look
nonsense,
like. They're
no
like,
missiles,
we
no
do not
nothing.
bullshit.
I
we are
think-
here to crush. We crush
Just punch
kaiju.
things.
I think that the Crimson Typhoon may have been the best looking one, but the Russian one
Pretty
looked
sexy.
tough. So.
The Crimson Typhoon was definitely the sexiest one, with like the how they built it and like the helmet, or rather the head
Forearms.
area was just like the telescope and the extra arms.
Yeah.
that was great. I was really sad that he got almost no screen time. But
I
Cherno
know, right?
was
Super,
definitely my
like-
favorite.
Okay, so that was your highlight of the summer. I gotta agree with you on that one. I loved Man of Steel. I saw it a couple times. You saw Pac-Ram 3 times.
I saw Pac-Man 4 times, saw Man of Steel 4 times.
Man, I'm gonna go back and see if I can convince my wife to see it. The biggest disappointment for me was World War Z. It was just
Yeah.
really underwhelming. No characterization, but the quality of films this summer has been really, really strong. What about you, Wes?
What else was out? Iron Man 3,
Oh.
Superman. Probably.
I really enjoyed that too.
I loved
liked
Iron
it.
Man 3.
Yeah, I loved it. But
Either that or Pac-Ram. My favorite.
Is he going to be in the new Avengers now?
Yeah.
Tony
Yeah.
or
Robert Downey? He's Tony.
He's down for 2 more
Tony.
films. They
That's
signed
hot.
him. He's going to
That's
make $100 million in the next 2
Good.
films. Good for him. I'm fine with that.
I think
Disney
probably
can afford
probably the Man of Steel. I feel like I'm missing. I feel like I'm leaving out. What else came out?
This is the end.
Oh no, yeah, that was it. There we
Well,
go.
World's End hasn't even come out yet.
I know.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's what I'm most
But
looking
This Is the
forward
End
to.
was
Yeah, 'cause I'm
also
really
excellent.
It's my number
forward
3
to
for the
Leave
summer,
Me
which
Alone.
is testament to the quality
it
of
was
the
a great-
summer.
it was
I
my
think that was my
comedy.
favorite one. Like I laughed the entire
Man,
movie.
you and I were just giggling like bitches the whole time.
There was jizzing. Actually, you weren't giggling like bitches because there were some ladies behind us that weren't giggling.
Yeah,
Oh, poor gals. God
Yeah.
bless them.
I
I don't think it's a guy film. I think it's just an asshole.
But you
film.
know what? My friend that teaches at UCO, she thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, my wife would have loved it. She was so pumped
laughed
to see
so
it.
hard. But I guess she's also, an asshole with no.
I think that's the
with
distinction.
no
if you're a Dana
manners.
McBride fan, you know what you're coming
know what
into.
you're
Yeah,
into.
there were people at work that said they wanted to see it, and they love like Seth Rogen movies and stuff like that. And
I would say that it's the most mean-spirited Seth Rogen film.
Loved it. He
Yeah.
should always be mean.
Why didn't I see that? That's
Oh, you didn't see it?
Nope.
Oh,
That's
I'm
right,
sorry,
you
dude.
You didn't come with us.
Nope.
Yeah, that was supposed to be our podcast-a-thon movie.
It was. We'll
We've
get
got,
there.
Have we got one more shot at a podcast movie this year?
Elysium comes out this weekend.
Ooh, World's
right.
End. World's End.
World's End is what I'm
We
in
should-
for.
yeah.
I'm with him on Elysium.
I'm gonna pass on that one. I'll
I
leave
want
it
to
to
see
you guys.
Elysium, but I am not like terribly excited.
I mean, I am.
I mean, I'll go see it with you guys.
Maybe John and
Very
I can go see
excited.
that, and
We
you guys
got
can
a-
go see
we got an R rating,
World's End.
so it's not going to be like.
Oh, we got hard R?
Yeah.
Good. Thank
Yeah,
God.
it's
My-
like dance around on
I think
World
my
War
thing
Z.
was I just
You don't
wasn't
like
a fan of District
Blancpain, I
9.
know.
Yeah, and it may be a great movie, and I hope it is. I hope it's great because I don't think we can stomach another sad sack of shit coming out.
I think.
but
Which was worse for you, World War Z or Lone Ranger?
God, Lone Ranger looked way
it was
worse.
bad. I think World War Z was worse for me because it
was a
was
disappointment.
a AAA, production.
It had the most potential.
cast, and it had the most potential. And Lone Ranger, I expected going in. that it would be
World War
bad.
Z looked like a slam dunk, and I don't want to turn into a World War Z bomb cast again.
Right.
But that one, that was the easiest shot. That was the free throw.
Yeah,
It's a zombie
so
film.
many people like it though.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't.
And then one of the things that I heard about the film is that its restriction on gore really, really appealed to people. It is the most bloodless horror film, quote
Yeah.
unquote, I've ever seen. There's no blood in it at all.
Yep.
The only blood on it is literally the makeup they put on Brad Pitt from splatters and stuff like that. But
Right.
they are releasing an unedited
Chops
cut.
the girl's arm clean off.
Nope.
Doesn't show
Not a
anything.
drop.
Nope. I was stunned. I was like, you can't be telling
Yeah, I
me
won't be
this.
picking up the unrated, but Elysium, I don't know.
Have you guys heard about the Europa report?
I have heard about it.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical of giving it a chance because the last time I gave an indie sci-fi a chance, it was
Don't say Moon, because I liked Moon.
no, it wasn't that.
awesome.
I haven't seen that.
This looks like Moon, Wes.
But no, what was it? Apollo.
Oh, you're talking about the found footage film?
23? Yeah.
No.
That was so awful.
This is not going to be that bad. This is not going to be like that.
so bad.
I thought you were trying to say Apollo 18 or whatever.
No, it's that horror film in space.
Yeah, it was
Found
Apollo,
footage horror
whatever
film.
it was. It
Oh,
was-
that is what you're talking about.
It was terrible.
Okay.
It was terrible. Basically, I'm going to spoil this because it's a shitty movie and you shouldn't watch it. The rocks are alive on the
What?
moon.
So it's like The Happening, but instead of trees, it's moon rocks.
It's moon rocks, and they're actually they get into your skin and under your skin, and they make you do shit.
I got that from the trailer.
It was pretty bad.
But moon
I-
rocks.
The rocks are alive.
It's pretty bad.
And we brought moon rocks back. from-
And so yeah,
sequel.
there you go. Wow. I hope they
Kind
don't
of like
make a sequel.
the story of Venom.
Wait, is anybody excited about
Be different if there
the
was
George
a-
Clooney?
No.
Gravity?
whatever else? Yeah,
I'm curious.
that
Like,
creeps me out.
Didn't we talk about that a little bit last week? Because it's Alfonso Cuarón.
Oh, I feel like they made that movie already about somebody that was like stranded in the middle of the ocean with like no one to come rescue them. They were just treading water for like 5 days or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
except that actually happened.
Something that actually happened. I was like, all right, so now that we've seen that,
to put it in space.
which is basically just as hopeless
And spice.
than Spas. We did talk about it a little bit. I'm curious, but I think it'll be something I hit on the old Netflix or Amazon Prime.
I feel like
I want to see
like
it
they
in
have to
theaters
be
whenever
leaving.
it's like wheeling through space. I get motion sick. It's gonna be great.
I feel like they must be leaving a lot out from those trailers. Like,
Oh yeah.
like,
Oh
we probably
yeah.
don't know anything.
Honestly, I feel like they probably put a lot in.
If
You
th-
think
if that's,
so?
If that's the
Well,
whole
just
movie,
the moment,
then we don't need to go see it.
The
Like,
incident of separation for those characters. That's just the impetus for the story.
Right. I hope.
I think I'm
Who
almost
knows?
positive. Alfonso Cuarón does not just
Did
throw
anybody
that moment
see,
out there for no reason.
This didn't come out in the summer, but when I think of one of the best movies I've seen recently,
I think May
Uh,
counts as the summer for me.
Life of Pi was extraordinary.
I still haven't seen that. I think I
That-
even have it.
You do have
It
it,
was
yeah.
so good.
So that was your moment for
It-
summer.
it
So that
came
made
That
up
was
for-
was that April? I think it was April, wasn't it?
I'll
count it, totally.
It was earlier than that.
Yeah, I feel like it was
Because they
later.
won an Academy Award for visual effects.
Oh, so it had to be 2012.
Yeah, the company that did it,
Rhythm
like the
and
special
Hues.
effects company,
Went out of
broke.
business. Yeah.
And that's why you see all those green screen avatars across Twitter and Facebook from designers and artists.
Because
Because, like, their
Out of work.
solidarity.
yeah.
So, I think it's been a good summer for movies. I mean, there have been some bombs, but I don't think that
Well,
many.
then what was the disappointment for you guys?
Disappointment.
Yeah.
World War Z.
Okay. So across the board, we're all in agreement
Lone
on that
Ranger.
one.
I mean, it was more than just
I
suck, it was
dodged the
bad.
It just looked bad from the
Most of
get go.
them,
I don't
yeah.
like Gore Verbinski that much.
I haven't read the book of World War Z, so I feel like I would have been more disappointed. Iron Man 3 was not what I was expecting.
I would agree
so
with you on
think
that.
that sticks out in my head the most.
But I still
I'm trying
liked
to forget
it.
about World War Z.
You know, I was watching last weekend. I watched the Wolverine, and I'll talk about that here in a
Oh
moment.
yeah, I saw that too.
But like it was disappointing.
I was-
like bad
go ahead.
quality, just not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Because of the stupid.
You bought a different ticket.
the Mandarin was.
You
Yeah,
know,
that-
I think
that-
I think going into that movie knowing that the Mandarin was going to come out there like having taken a dump readied me. And I
loved
laughed
it.
so hard. When
I didn't
came
see it
out.
coming though. I loved
I
it.
loved it when I was like, "Oh my god!" He was like, "I wouldn't go in there if I was you." You know what I mean?
Give that a few minutes.
Have an Academy Award
Yeah.
winning actor deliver a poop joke.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
It's incredibly.
What were you starting to say?
I was saying that Wolverine surprised me. It's a
Did it?
surprisingly good film, especially considering the pedigree of the prior film.
Is it better than Origins?
Oh
yeah.
by a
Is
thousand.
it better than First Class?
No.
Nope, it's not that good. And
Next
you-
Scoville.
I would
I
say
don't think it's gonna hold up though. Like if I were to see it again,
I think it will. I think it will. The only
'Cause
part,
I was-
the
it's
third
just-
act.
Yeah.
That was
Third
my
act.
favorite part. That was like the rest of it seemed like it was kind of slow.
Okay. That was most people's complaint against First Class, where it's high characterization, high dialogue, high concept. This film does 2/3 of that, and the third act of the film is action, CG samurai.
Hugh Jackman does
That's-
the worst action though.
Well,
I
I wanted
like
to
his
see the Silver
characterization.
Samurai, and he wasn't in like the first half.
Yeah, I like his.
Then I think you're going to like
characterization, I
it.
just don't like his action.
Then you're going to be fine with this film because there's 3 action sequences in the whole film, and they're very real world. They're very grounded in reality.
Except for the part where he's like doing the tornado spin on the train and then
that
Flies
was,
But,
Yeah,
but,
right.
but when
was
you
cheesy.
but when you watch it, it'll be okay. I'm serious. When you watch it, you'll be like, "Oh, it's not so preposterous," because
Okay.
they place a context for that behavior, and it's really quite clever. The way he gets out of that sequence it was intelligent. It wasn't big bombastic explosion. It was a really intelligent way he got out of
I
it.
kind of
It came calmly to a stop, and he got off in his proper
twirled.
car.
and that's
he
why
gave him
his hair
ticket.
sticks up on the sides.
I honestly feel like though I have reached the point where I may be done with the X-Men films altogether.
You didn't like First Class?
I love First Class.
Then don't give up. You got the best one coming up. Then
No, this is where I'm worried. I saw the latest movie poster for it.
and
Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart. So they're trying to tie First Class, which was a great timeline,
right.
to the shitty original
Uh-huh.
X-Men timelines, and I don't like that.
I'm totally with you.
I
on
want them to forget.
It's still going to be the
horrendousness.
Fassbender film. It's still going to be that.
But Bryan Singer's back directing now.
that. Yep.
I thought the third one was horrible. What was
It
wrong
was
with the
so
first
yeah.
two?
The third one was so.
The first one was really understory. Like there was just
Yeah,
not
there was
enough
enough story, yeah, I agree.
And so it was very like Wolverine. Like we hadn't seen heroes on the screen yet, so it was very difficult.
But I would even say the first 2/3 of that film were really strong too. Because that's all
They're
characterization.
okay, and I'm all right with that. But the second and third movies, and then Origins, were just so bad. I don't.
Second one wasn't bad.
I like
the
the
second one
second
was
one.
bad. I
never-
having gone back and watched it a few times.
It's not as good as United
It's
or
not-
First Class, I should say.
It's not as good as First Class. First Class is something
the best
completely
one.
new and awesome.
It's the best one.
And the fact that they're now tying them together with the shitty ones is what makes me sad.
I am with
But okay,
you
but
100%.
but you're an old school comic guy like me. You're a Claremont Byrne fan, right?
Yeah, I mean,
You're
to,
not
to
even
a
a
degree.
Claremont fan? Okay.
To a degree, I'm a Claremont fan.
Okay, but didn't you?
Not
re-
everything he does is great.
Now, don't you want to see the Sentinels in action?
I love the idea of the whole Days of Future Past storyline.
Then that sounds
I
great.
don't like the idea of combining the,
Yeah.
the cast and characters that we've developed in First Class with the shitty cast and characters that Bryan Singer developed. in the
I am
previous
almost
movies.
positive. You can call me on if I'm wrong. You can quote me now. I think this is still going to be a First Class film because they are still focused primarily on that cast. Of
Right, it's
characters.
First Class Part 2
Right.
with Bryan Singer directing and
Right, but Bryan Singer
Ian
produced
McKellen
and co-wrote
Patrick-
the
But
first
he's the
First
one
Class.
who wanted to fix all that shit that was wrong with the third movie, which makes me like, there's no way he.
He
can
did not
undo-
like the third film.
I know, but he shouldn't try to undo it. I'm with Sean. He
He
should
needs to
just
leave it
forget it,
alone,
just
forget it
start over.
happens.
Like this was the perfect opportunity for
Just
them to
wipe the
start
slate.
over.
I thought they had wiped the slate.
I did too.
That's what I thought. I was excited.
that was the goal. But here's the thing: keep in mind, you're dogging on Bryan Singer. He plotted and wrote First Class. Keep that in mind.
He almost killed the Superman franchise.
Matthew Vaughn directed it though, and there's a difference between writing and producing. and directing.
And also Matthew Vaughn directed Kick-Ass, which
Yeah,
is a
they're
film I
different
don't
words.
like.
I don't like Kick-Ass either, but that's just because I don't like Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
I didn't like the comic and I didn't like the movie.
Yeah, not either, actually.
But
I
to
liked
me,
watching Nicolas Cage shoot a little girl. Though.
that was kind of cool. But no, Bangkok
You're gonna be
Dangerous.
fine, honey.
But Bryan
Baby
Singer has across the board disappointed me every single time he's stepped up to bat.
Are you kidding me? Usual Suspects? Wow. Okay, I've never heard anybody say anything bad about that film.
I was already into Guy Ritchie by the time I saw.
But Guy
Usual
Ritchie's
Suspects.
secondhand Bryan
All I
Singer,
can
Chris
see
McQuarrie.
is like a bad film critic.
I feel like
being
Guy Ritchie does Bryan Singer better than Bryan Singer.
Oh
did
my
Bryan
God,
Singer.
Singer is
Guy
so
Ritchie
good.
does
Whoa,
Quentin
wait.
Tarantino, but
So-
third hand.
So how does Guy Ritchie and how do Bryan Singer and Guy Ritchie?
They like to build overlapping cast of characters that intertwine at the end of a plot. That's what they do. They build the cast of characters in third act. They just have them intertwine and collapse.
Right.
That's what they do.
I felt like Snatch was a superior film
How does-
there.
Oh my God! You're hurting me in the place that's painful.
Well, now you know how I feel about you and Prometheus.
I guess
Out of what I've seen of Singer and Guy Ritchie, I like Ritchie better, but I haven't seen the usual
Oh,
suspects.
have you seen Swept Away?
No,
Have you seen
no,
that
I
film?
haven't. But
Speaking-
I was not a big fan of any of the X-Men movies until First
Or
Class.
Superman Returns.
But have you seen The Usual Suspects? Have you seen Valkyrie? Oh man.
I read
Valkyrie's
the
good.
story,
like
the
Valkyrie.
actual historical events of Valkyrie, so I didn't feel the need to go watch it.
Well, it's an okay film.
And honestly, I don't think Tom Cruise is that great.
He's not, but okay.
I did like
It's a
Jack
good
Reacher
movie,
though.
Have you seen
Well-
Magnolia?
Jack
I have
Reacher's
seen
more than
Magnolia.
He's awesome in that.
I loved him. In
He was great before he got on the crazy train.
Yeah.
And I don't like any of the Mission Impossible movies. But that may just be because I can't believe there's
But it
a
had Simon
Impossible Mission Force running around doing shit. If they were like
Oh,
changed the
man.
name to like CIA or NSA, but not the Impossible Mission Force.
Well, this is the quickest time as any. I'm gonna get through the run the numbers thing real quick.
Run 'em.
Two Guns, which I didn't even know was a comic book film.
What the fuck? I want to see that movie bad.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll go see it with you.
Let's
I'm curious
go.
about it.
Dude, Denzel blowing shit up, Man on Fire.
Yeah, but he's protecting a little girl in that. This is just a white cop, black
Protecting
cop.
Mark
I don't know. I
Wahlberg.
don't think he's protecting the little girl. He's,
Weapon.
he's hunting her down.
Yeah.
He's finding her.
Two
He sticks a
Guns-
bomb in a dude's asshole in that
It
movie.
looked like a decent time. I'm not sure. I'm 50-50 on it. I'll go see it.
Let's go watch it.
So 27 million for Two Guns. Number 2 for Wolverine was 21 million. It had a significant drop, like all comic book films do.
Yeah.
59 million. What was funny was Fox was really reeling last weekend because it came in at about 56 million on its opening weekend. They anticipated a $70 million opening. And so they're saying Hugh Jackman doesn't have the opening power.
Oh, he's got
in
opening
the
power,
States.
but Wolverine fucked us last time.
Well, I think they're selling that short. I think no one liked Origins
Don't
Yeah.
forget about Kate and Leopold.
and Caitlin.
Caitlin Leopold was great.
But here's my
Australia was
review.
terrible.
On a scale from 1 to 10, Wes, what would you give Wolverine?
Forgot about Australia.
I liked it. I really liked it a
Maybe
lot.
that's 7.
A 7 for
I
me
think
too.
that's a good.
Right?
That's a good number.
It's not a great film. It's a good
Yeah.
film.
For you to say that, I would watch it because
a 7.
I trust your
Totally.
superhero judgment in
Totally.
movies.
You should on this one.
No, I do on superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
I think you and I are simpatico.
Simpatico, and yeah.
Yeah, I will watch it at a 7. If you had said like 5, no.
No,
I went in with
my Origins is like a 3.
I went in with
Ugh,
pretty
that
low
was bad.
expectations for the movie and was pleasantly surprised. I was just like,
Pleasantly.
I'm not hating this. This isn't
Alright.
bad. That's kind of what I was thinking the whole.
And I'm super critical. Like I love Superman, the new Superman film, which is Superman,
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel. And I would score between a 7, a 5, and an 8. And I love that film, so I'm super critical.
A 7, a 5, and a
7.5
Oh.
and an 8.
Yeah, I would give Man of Steel an 8. I mean, it's not an A plus
It's
by
not.
any stretch, but it is definitely like a strong
Yeah.
B for me.
I would agree with that.
Jesus
Despicable
Christ
Me
wearing
came in at
the
number
Superman costume.
5. Or Conjuring at number 4. Despicable Me number 5. Grown Ups 2 still in the top 10. Turbo came in at number 7 in its second weekend. Red 2 at number 8. The Heat at number 9. The surprise hit of the summer is The Heat. Pulled 150 million overall.
The Heat.
Yeah, and Pacific Rim taking its precipitous slide down the top 10. It is going to drop out next week. Its budget was about 190 million. It has only grossed about 93 million in the States. But the good news is last weekend in China it
Yeah.
pulled the biggest opening in Warner Brothers history
it
at
opened.
45 million. China we knew was going to be a really strong market for them.
That's like 8 billion yen or something.
Here's what's really
right?
interesting
I love
about
it.
that.
Is yen their currency?
As much
Yeah.
money as that film has made, for Lionsgate, they haven't made a penny off of it yet in China, even though it's the biggest opening in the history of Warner
Yeah.
Brothers in China, because of the laws in China.
Yep.
The weird tax laws right now, they haven't even been able to pour any money from back into the U.S. for 6 months.
But it has the opening guaranteeing them a sequel,
right.
so they are doing a sequel.
But you heard that?
Yeah,
Oh,
Guillermo was talking about it.
I hope you're right.
Yeah.
Oh man, if he can shave the budget a little bit, take off $30 million off the top, they can
Well,
do
you can
it.
always shave the budget
Yeah,
once you've done it.
yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. I mean, they did it with the Wolverine. That's a good case in point.
Did you see any of the featurettes for Pacific Rim leading up to it or afterwards immediately?
Nope.
There's 2 featurettes. I really feel like if you're into design or illustration at all, you should watch the Jaeger featurette and the Kaiju featurette.
I saw
And
they cut 2 of the
They
Jaegers.
talk about how they made them and like how they
I'd be
came up
more
with
interested
them.
in the kaiju one.
Well, both of them were excellent because they talked about just the design process and like the theories behind them, and he designed them to look like there could be a guy in a suit in there, and like everything was very much nature based on actual animals that exist, and went through all that. And then with the Jaegers, though, he was talking about like the silhouettes, and the reason Gypsy Danger ended up looking the way it did, which I thought was interesting, is they wanted it to look like kind of the Clint Eastwood gunslinger of the Jaegers. They wanted to be tall
Fantastic.
and lanky and very American.
Lengthy, yeah,
You
very
know, so,
standard,
like,
very yeah.
yeah, and they wanted he wanted to have that Western feel, so that's why he went like Marshal and
That makes
Ranger
total
instead of
sense.
like Colonel or Lieutenant. So it was really cool. Like you should watch those featurettes on YouTube. They're only like 4 minutes long, but they're definitely worth it.
Wes, I've got a question for you because you and I are definitely the biggest Uncharted fans in the room. Seth Rogen, this
You
is an
might
old
be the only ones.
man.
Do
Maybe.
you own a PS3?
No.
I don't know PS3.
Well, I'm just saying.
And
Now,
that-
Seth Rogen, he's been prompted, he and his co-writer for This Is the End, were prompted 3 times by Sony Pictures to write a screenplay for the Uncharted films. Now, I have this beautiful image of Nathan Drake in my mind. And every time Nathan Drake's been prompted by Seth Rogen to be a character in a film, Seth Rogen says the same thing every time. I can't tell the difference between his character and Indiana Jones. Wes, if you were going to prompt a person to write a screenplay for the Uncharted series, how would you make them different?
He shoots people,
So is Indy.
And he does too.
but mostly not most of the time. Is mostly his whip, right? Like he shoots like one.
He shot
guy.
like in the first Raiders of
No,
the
dude,
Lost Ark.
he-
Guy with the sword. He's like,
You know
fuck
this-
this.
yeah,
the whip is almost rarely happens.
You know
he
the
actually
story
shoots
behind
people
that scene?
all the time.
Yeah.
Food
Where the dude
poisoning.
comes out with the big sword and he
Uh-huh.
shoots
Yeah,
him.
it's one of the best scenes in the film. You know why he did that?
Actually?
He had diarrhea that
he
day.
didn't want to do the action sequence.
He just went bang.
Okay,
Spielberg was like, brilliant!
what's the difference?
What do you think? That I have my theory. Can you tell me what your theory is?
One's an
I really want to hear what
archaeologist.
you have to say.
Well, yeah, one's an archaeologist, one's a thief. And I don't know. I haven't really given this much thought.
Because you and I love that character, and I don't feel like there's any character confusion for Indy and Nathan for me. I think Nathan's funnier for one.
Yeah, how can you make that assessment? Like,
I mean,
he's an action adventurer.
Well,
Like, that's,
even-
that's
now
it.
Nathan
He's a pulp
Fillion
hero.
in Firefly, very,
Which is Nathan Drake.
Which is
very
Nathan Drake,
very
He's Han Solo.
specifically said. Well, he's Han Solo, but he very specifically said,
He's a very different-
"I'm modeling my performance after Indiana Jones." He's like,
Yeah.
I would go watch the Indy films, and I would try and copy what I saw Harrison Ford doing. So. That is where you might see some of that Nathan Fillion, Indiana Jones, because he worked his ass off to try and be Indiana Jones. In
And you know, that's a
Firefly.
testament to Nolan North's characterization. I didn't even know he was David in The Last of Us until
Oh,
recently.
yeah.
He did such a good job. I
So-
lose him in that character.
so the 3 Uncharted games basically follow the Indiana Jones movies beat for beat. As in,
You think?
So it's to
Man,
some
not
extent-
not 3.
Like, look how. No, 3 totally. It's a father story.
But okay, that's my difference.
Yeah.
Nathan Drake is an adopted son.
Yeah, but
He's
Sully's
a father.
his dad.
He's always on the search for his father. As a child, he's always on the look. And he even took the name of
Yeah.
a character who's not even related to him.
Right, but Sully is his dad. In that
Right.
game, his Sully becomes his dad. It's a search for his dad.
I
That's
think the
exactly.
point he's making is that there's a father involved in like
The paternal father role. I think there's a way you can write it, and I think focusing on the fact that he was an orphan is much different than the fact that Indy had a strong father figure in his life. I think that's the distinction between those two characters.
I think if we're really honest, though, Nathan Fillion's not going to be
Oh, it's not happening.
Oh, he's
Drake
yeah.
because he is way too old.
He's old and
70
fat.
now.
God bless him.
But even so,
maybe he could be his dad.
I mean, but there are all kinds of treasure hunter movies. So
The National Treasure, Nick Cage,
National
right?
Treasure,
Sahara.
Tomb Raider,
Sahara with
like,
McConaughey.
it's almost a genre
I was
in
afraid
itself.
to bring that up, but I'm glad you did because that was actually the first example I thought of like
McConaughey was actually going to be Nathan Drake in one of the iterations of the film.
Ooh.
I know.
I-
They cut that one, thank God.
I
You
guess
should
I don't
direct
see
it.
like what the big deal is. How many slasher movies have we seen? Like,
Right.
um,
Who's different, Freddy Krueger or the Jason or the
right.
Pinhead or
Indiana
whatever?
Jones
yeah.
doesn't have to own that character.
the treasure
archetype.
hunter?
Right.
And
Yeah.
Romancing the
There's plenty of room
Stone and
for
Jewel of the Nile. Like,
That's classic.
actually, those are more like Uncharted than Indiana Jones.
Jewel of the Nile, Romancing the Stone's one I liked,
Yeah, that's a
actually.
classic.
It's awesome. It's Robert Zemeckis. Did you know that?
Does he have a
Yes.
stronger
I didn't know that
version
till
of
recently.
Snakes?
Young Michael Douglas before he got cancer from eating
Oh.
pussy.
And what's that movie with Chuck
That's the
Norris?
best kind.
That's the best kind.
Firewalker.
He's like,
with
"I'll
Chuck
take
Norris.
it."
Right.
God damn.
Anything that
was
Chuck
good.
Norris did was a treasure hunter movie.
Here's another topic. I posted an article
Speaking of
on
which.
the Messenger for you guys to look at. I wasn't sure if you guys read it. The 9 things you have to pay attention to with the Superman Batman film. Did you guys read that at all?
Let me check the messenger.
Don't worry about it then.
No.
It was
you read the whole thing.
It was
whole
9
film.
things you have to be cognizant of whenever you're making the Superman Batman movie. Was this the original plan for Man of Steel? What was the world's reaction to the events of Man of Steel? How will you avoid the same mistakes of the first film? Who's going to be the bad guy? Where will you? Yeah, that's the big one.
It's going to be a real estate scheme
Again, for the third
in
time.
Metropolis.
Where will you draw the influence for Batman? And you guys heard about the casting rumors for that, right?
Some old guy.
Yeah,
John Hamm was one of them.
Yeah.
Way too old.
Who was the other? Josh Brolin.
and his co-star from Gangsters,
Oh,
Ryan
and,
Gosling.
Gosling. Yeah.
and then there was also the guy.
I'd rather watch Ryan Gosling before I watch Brolin.
I would rather Brolin probably better age fit.
I don't want to see Ryan Gosling.
But do you know why they're leaning on Brolin
Oh,
right
I'm thinking
now?
of Ryan Reynolds. I'm sorry.
He's too.
They're trying to adapt Frank Miller's The
Dark
Dark Knight.
That's where John Hamm comes in.
You think so?
I think so.
I think so too. Actually.
I think Brolin is too rugged for Batman, for Bruce Wayne.
Look, he is too rugged for Bruce Wayne, but The Dark Knight story by Frank Miller, written in 1986, right?
Yeah.
It's this huge send-up of 80s
I
culture
think this
as
is
well
a
as...
terrible idea if they do that.
I don't know if it
they're-
is or not.
If they're setting up the
No, that's
for
going to be
him,
a separate movie altogether.
if they're setting this up for Justice League,
Maybe. It'd be a bad idea if they're doing that, because Superman loses to Batman pretty viciously.
But I still don't even want a Justice League movie until I've had Flash and Wonder
Oh,
Woman.
this tastes awful after
oh,
that.
so what do you think? What do you
Like,
think of?
Ugh.
What do you think of them introducing Flash into your favorite CW show?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
I'm pretty stoked to
I'm-
see how they're going to handle a metahuman in the Green Arrow.
Ugh.
I am.
Universe.
Because it's very grounded.
It's pretty grounded. I mean, they've got a little meta going on, but not
Really?
a lot.
Well,
I'm
mine's
excited because
Agave,
I love
but
the
still.
Flash. He's one of my favorite DC characters.
Yeah.
So.
Are you gonna
which I was
start
loving
watching Arrow now?
until-
I am. I want to. Yeah, but
Yes.
is it out? Is the first season out to buy?
Yes, I believe so.
I'll have to pick that up then.
If not, you can always check it out on.
So speaking of,
And that was the number 9
speculation,
reason, actually.
I've been trying to segue this
Flash.
for like the last 20 minutes.
I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
Just lay your
So-
dick on the table.
Back to the dick
No,
jokes.
I think it'd be more like
And you'd all like softly giggle and
oh, it wouldn't be
whisper
soft.
amongst yourselves.
It'd be long and loud. All right, go ahead.
You're all dicks.
Segue.
So speaking of speculation on characters, more is just a confirmation of a character, and I'm even giving this to you. I'm gonna completely just not even say a word about it. The Doctor Who.
I wasn't even
Doctor-
gonna bring it up.
I was thinking about that.
I didn't want you to cry
Didn't wanna
because
get
I talked
awkward
about
again.
something you didn't like again.
I didn't even know you were genuinely
Guys, you talk
pissed.
about
I love
stuff
that.
I don't like do every podcast, so it's just. But hey, I've said, have at it because I know
I was
you
going
wanna
to
talk
leave it
about
alone.
You
No,
wanna
I was
talk
going to leave it
about
alone. I already said my piece on Twitter. Listen, my thing is that I love,
People who
What'd
are
you say
listening-
on Twitter?
There are people who are listening who
I
want to
love,
know.
I love
Know that
Doctor
for a
Who.
fact.
I've loved Doctor Who since I was a little kid, and I would read the books and record the stuff off PBS, and watch them and whatnot. They just cast or announced the 12th Doctor is going to be Peter Capaldi.
An old man. It's kind of interesting.
And I'm okay with the choice, in that I know he'll do a good job, but I'm also disappointed because I feel like we've had a bunch of old white men,
Mm-hmm.
and we've had a bunch of middle-aged white men, and I would have liked to see a woman or a black guy or a
I didn't
Hispanic
even,
guy.
I'm so
or,
daft. You're absolutely right.
It'd be nice to see something new for the 12th incarnation.
And you know, that's one of the things I really
2013.
liked about Wolverine's first 2/3 is that there were strong female characters in that film that were not just bait for the character.
Right, they weren't helpless.
They-
and that's all I'm saying.
Here's the thing, I'm sick of it. I'm not even like a mega feminist. I'm just sick of seeing women use as bait.
Yeah.
In characters.
That's all I wanted. I just wanted I wanted them to seriously consider
That'd be
doing
such a
something
cool idea.
different, and
Yeah.
and they didn't. And whatever. I mean, I'm gonna watch the show anyways, but that was all I said.
It'll be
on
solid.
Twitter.
It'll be good.
Yeah, yeah. As far as solid, actually, speaking of solid female characters, Wonder Woman movie. So the Flashpoint Paradox animated feature from DC came out this last week. I would say it's probably story wise kind of like 7, maybe a 6 actually, if I'm honest. The animation's pretty tight though. If you like DC animation,
Is it
which
more
I
the
do.
Darwin Cook kind of look?
No, it's actually more Phil Barassa. It's more that Young Justice style, real sleek and streamlined. Got some anime feel. They had I'm trying to remember the anime house they had to do it, but they had a legit studio.
Oh,
pull
it's
it
an
off.
anime. So, like, I remember some of the Green Lantern animated films. I didn't really care for the animation.
Those were still when Lauren, who I think is an amazing director, and I do love the Green Lantern stuff, but those were more Western. This is definitely closer to anime.
Cool,
And
I
they
might-
fused a little CG in there, but they had a spot where they were talking about Wonder Woman in this alternate timeline. And it was just kind of some of the stuff they were saying, like the reporters and whatnot were saying. Was,
Nathan Fillion's
was
voicing
neat.
Green Lantern too. Actually.
Yeah, Nathan. That's what I wanted to bring up. Nathan Fillion
Yeah.
plays Hal Jordan.
That guy's like
In there.
Mark Hamill now. He's just old and fat, and
Does
his
voices.
voice still works.
but he's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, he used to be in a soap opera.
Yes.
Mark Hamill or
And
Nathan
I remember.
Fillion?
Nathan
No,
Fillion.
I remember watching that, and then like my mom used to watch it, and I would have to go like stay over it with my mom and my grandma. And we'd be watching is it General Hospital or Days of one of those shows. And
Soaps.
I remember seeing him in Firefly. And I was like, that's that dude from my mom's soap opera.
Never forget.
Mom used to love
I'll
him.
never forgive you.
I'm looking at these animation stills of Flashpoint. It looks like that studio that did the Ghost in the Shell animated series, Headgear, or whatever his name was, or Studio IG.
That's getting closer. It's like it's 2 initials. But I think it's like numbers. I'm not sure. My friend Mike told me. It was really well animated, which
Looks
is
sharp.
nice to know because the reason I bring that up is because of course Bruce Timm is retired now.
Yeah, this is the
And,
first non
Yeah,
Justice League.
no Tim at all.
No Tim at all.
He
But
hasn't
he's been doing it
touched
for
any part
20
of it.
years.
And I got to start drawing like He-Man cartoons and Black Star and like just doing in
Black
betweeners.
Star. Oh,
As much as I love Bruce Timm, and I love the way he brings characters down to their essence, I look at him, and I'm glad he stepped away.
Yeah,
We've seen his stuff for 20 years, and I love his stuff.
I want new stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's my problem with the J.J. Abrams situation with Star Wars. He does every sci-fi thing right now. Every one of them.
And they all look alike. I mean, I like the look, but I'd like something fresh.
I'm totally okay with him doing Star Wars because I love what he brought to Star Trek.
But he made Star Trek for Star Wars fans.
That's exactly
That's
what he did.
exactly why
What
I
I'm
like it.
worried about is that he's going to let Lindelof loose over Star Wars, the way he lets him loose over everything, and that will be a catastrophe like we have never seen before.
Dude, we've all seen episode
The
1.
galaxy.
It couldn't get any worse.
Luke, I am your father's brother's best friend's cousin's sister's roommate's
Clone.
clone. He's more pizzazz.
That's not.
Thank you, David.
That's too simple. What we should do is do a timeline shift.
I liked episode 1. There, I said it.
I like the pod racing. I even bought the episode 1 video game
No,
on
let me
Instagram.
tell you
That
something.
was the perfect
Well, let me tell you
age for
something.
it, too.
Pod racing.
How old were you when that came out?
If we want to go
9.
back, okay, well, you have an excuse to like it.
Yeah,
Back in
that's right.
time.
'Cause it
Holy
was
shit, I was a senior in
very
high school.
kiddie.
Me too.
Oh.
And the
Very
movie's
kiddie.
long. The movie's really long.
All right, so back in time, Nintendo 64, Pod
Pod
Racer.
Racer.
That game was
Did you
the
buy?
fucking
Did
shit.
you buy the RAM cartridge that
Fuck
Adam?
yeah,
Of course
You
you
know-
did.
you
get
know-
all of it.
I don't remember anything about episode 2, but I remember a lot of the episode
Ninja
1.
Frog.
And I remember a lot about
There was-
episode 3.
Episode 2 had
Ninja
the-
Frog and an old man that shouldn't have been a Darth.
Oh, I
Darth
think you're
Lord.
referring to Yoda. Am I right?
Yes, Ninja Frog and old man who shouldn't have been fighting at all, and Anakin's piss poor performance. with two
Anytime Christopher
lightsabers.
Lee moved
Yeah.
It got
faster
cool
than,
for
like,
about 3 seconds, and then it went to shit because your hand got cut off. You're supposed to be like the most badass Jedi that's ever walked on the face. Fuck.
No, you see his midichlorian.
Okay, so listen, Pod Racer. We got off topic.
Necessarily his skill
Okay.
level.
Pod Racer.
How hardcore? Did you ever get all the tracks?
Did
All
you
of
get
them.
the
Okay.
All of them.
Oh, here's the
Pod
question.
Racer's
It's good.
Revenge?
This is the most nerdy question I'm probably going to ask you.
Fuck.
Okay, you ready? You bought the cartridge.
Mm-hmm.
You bought the RAM add-on for N64,
This
Yeah.
one-
which was useful for like 3 games.
Yeah.
You beat all the
Pod
tracks,
Racer's
which are
the
and,
one.
that, and
Donkey
there's
Kong
one that's
64,
really
we
hard.
use it for
Yeah.
that.
Did you end up playing the game with 2 controllers?
No.
Okay. There's a way you can control each pod.
That's amazing.
I know.
I did not know that.
What?
You can grab 2, and because this is before dual analog, you could take and control each engine
That's
with analog
amazing.
sticks on Pod
Oh,
Racer.
I never knew
I
that.
was
I'm going home,
very-
getting our 64,
I still have it.
taking
Informed.
it back, and doing
It's
that.
awesome.
Because I bought
It's so
Racer
hardcore.
recently.
It's
Well,
so hardcore.
I actually had to drop out
Rebought
of
it.
college my first year.
Because you're playing Racer too much.
Yeah. Actually, that's what it is.
Legit.
I signed up to go to UCO, and I moved out because my parents were like, you need to move out and get on your own, which was a horrible mistake. I was 18. Excuse me, I was 19.
18 going on 12.
I was 19 going on 12. And we had a Nintendo 64, which I did not have at my home.
Right.
But, I
Perfect
bought-
Dark and yeah.
So we had 3 games that we played nonstop. Perfect Dark, Mario Party 2.
Yep.
That was our jam. We would play that game. We would start at like 6
Why-
p.m. when we all got home, and we would play till like 6 a.m. the next morning.
Were you drinking at that age?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Okay,
no.
okay.
Mm-mm.
Why,
We were
why'd you
nerds.
play Perfect Dark instead of Goldeneye?
I
It's
had burnt
better.
out. I
It's
had
better
burnt out
than
on
GoldenEye,
GoldenEye when I was younger, and Perfect Dark was better. I tried to go back and play it. I can't play it now.
I like
but-
how the level designs are the exact
Same.
same thing.
But it has the
Um,
turret gun.
and then a Pod Racer. And I used to drive a 1978 bird shit yellow Lincoln Continental. And
Did you call it Anakin's pod?
no, I didn't call it that. But what happened was I was living in Edmond, and when I would drive home to Yukon to visit my parents, I would usually be from lack of sleep, and it would start drifting. And because when it's a long, big car, like you kind of have to drift a little anyways. And so I'd start like thinking, like getting that movement, like I was driving a
Drift?
pod. And it was bad. Like I had to break my addiction hardcore because I really
Because you got pulled over so many times for
I got
looking
pulled
drunk.
over once, and they wanted to
I
search
was
my
pod
car because they
racing,
thought I was
officer.
like on something. And after that, I had to like limit my time.
That game
But
is really
You're
good.
wearing like one of the Anakin.
I dropped. No, I didn't do that. I did drop out of college though because I spent more time playing Pod Racer than doing any of my homework.
Time well
I did not
spent.
know you were in that like me, man.
I was so obsessed, and I was a music theater major. If that tells you like how shitty,
How
I
easy it
was.
could have been.
It could have been just so easy. Just show up, sing, do your acting. Turn in a couple of papers, bullshit papers,
Right.
about the theory of feeling, and then go home and play pottery. And I couldn't even do that. I could not motivate myself to leave the house. I kept playing Pod Racer.
That's either
It was good.
addiction or depression or both.
So your
I
story
did have a girlfriend,
of,
so it was addiction.
your story
Attaboy.
of driving your car and making it be like a pod.
It was really good. That game was
so-
really
Driving
good.
Buick
I have
LeSabre,
a-
which was a boat.
A quick little story. I was pretty obsessed with Back to the Future, and so I do you remember I used to have a silver Murano, and it looks just like the one I have now, but it was silver, and it looked kind of like a bigger, like fatter.
Did you ever scream, "Let's see if
DeLorean.
you bastards can do 90"?
No, but what I did do is
Damn
I
Radians.
downloaded the theme song and burned
Your
it to a
VW
CD.
Oh.
And so I put it in my car, and then every time I would
Pass somebody on the highway.
no, every time I would
Chicken!
exit when I'd be heading back to Enid, when I would exit off of 74 to 412, I would pop that in, and I would have to make it to 88 before I hit the first speed
That's
limit
amazing.
sign. And so every time I would do that,
You never told me that.
I thought I did.
Wait, I can one up that nerdiness.
That's the best.
When I got rid of my birdshit yellow 1978 Lincoln Continental, I sold it to a guy who used the engine because I had a V8 460, and he was building a pickup truck. And I ended up getting like an '88 Cadillac DeVille.
You have a boat.
I had a boat.
Pimpin'.
And that was when Sopranos was real big.
Yeah. Woke up this morning.
Downloaded the theme
Got
song to
myself
that.
a gun.
And every time I would be driving
I'm
around like all
always told
slow with
me,
my friend, like we would turn the windows down and play
chosen
like
one.
the Sopranos theme song and just like
Under a
cruise
bad
in our
sun,
mobster
baby.
Cadillac like losers. Speaking of ultimate losers, though, I have been listening to the Pacific Rim soundtrack.
I'm
nonstop.
Spotify.
Dude,
That
not
just
only
fills
that,
my
Who
Spotify.
did the
It
score
is.
for that?
The same guy did Game of Thrones, Ramanan Dewajandi or whatever.
It's a good theme, though.
Dude, it blows any other theme out of the water that I heard this summer so far because it's memorable.
The Superman theme was better.
No, it wasn't
I have
because
to agree.
It was way better.
Here's
Last
the reason,
of Us.
Here's the reason I don't agree because Superman,
Ooh, good soundtrack
each
for
song
the
by
summer.
itself is not the theme. It's when you take them all together and weave them into the overture, it becomes the theme. Pacific Rim has a theme for the Jaegers, and a theme for the Kaiju, and a theme, and it's very recognizable. And I love Hans Zimmer,
Me too.
and I bought that soundtrack on day one, and I love it. It's a great soundtrack, but I really think that Pacific Rim is more memorable in that you're going to hear that. And go,
I don't know.
"Yeah." Dude, give it a try. Listen to it while you're driving. It makes you want to drive faster.
I'll give it a
and
go,
shit.
but the music did not stand out for me the way that in Superman film.
Oh my god, dude.
And then what? But in your defense, I would say that the film Superman was its intent was to frame those thematic moments musically,
Right.
more so than even visually. When that theme kicked in, it was about simple images, simple iconic
It sounded
frames.
like little theme songs more to me than it did an orchestration across telling a story, like, you know, across the entire picture.
You know, I'm actually wanting to make a segue into music. This is probably a good time for us to take a break.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Sure.
Break time.
Yeah, the thing about Superman with the music was that like
So good, and it builds.
But like those are all separate tracks that they then
Dude,
bring
I've
together and weave
been
in.
drumming that.
You think it's more
Superman theme.
integrated in the
It's,
Pacific
that's
Rim?
the way Hans Zimmer kind of saw it, as like more of like the whole soundtrack has to work together in that last song.
The precipice of the song.
That's when it becomes the theme, but he has to build up to that, and I think that's brilliant, and I think that is
Yeah.
masterful writing. And Hans Zimmer's probably,
I just
in my
like
book, the best
loud
composer alive.
blasts of brass, so that just like sucked me in from the get go.
Pacific Rim?
On Superman.
But they had that on Pacific Rim too. They
Yeah,
had,
but
I mean,
it's
to
not
me,
the
like
same
if you go back and
rising.
well, I think it's two different. They're trying to achieve two different goals.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that Man of Steel did a great job in establishing the character because you can't find the theme at first, and then the theme builds, and when you find who Superman is, the theme suddenly unveils.
I would
I
say
think
that
that's
Superman
great.
does like that has like the 8-bit generation mentality where it's like, here's your moment, play the song right there, and it's very emblematic and it's very simple and it's very pure.
And I feel like with Pacific Rim, it's like
It's
each
mo-
character was given its
It's
own
more
theme.
high concept.
And it's like, okay, so the Kaiju show up and the Jaegers show up, and so when we're going to have a song with the two of them together during a battle, we're going to weave in the digital Jaeger element
Yeah.
and the regular Kaiju element. And it works really well.
It does work. It's not nearly as memorable as Superman thing.
That just sounds like a John Williams score. Where he has like a theme for everyone and then brings them together. And with that, should we go to break? Because Eric is
I thought we were on break.
waving his arms.
I was
no,
just
he
talking.
didn't stop.
I know your daddy's from the rural Midwest. He likes the trucks so Paul and oil the best. He's got a gun rack in the back of his car, and always looking for the kids to sit and slack along. You gotta. But damn, come on.
How can you be so fancy free when you don't even know how daily you mamma mia hurt some dirt you milked a cow? Now let me tell you what I wanna do now.
I never see you in any other shows. Let's go to the bathroom for a pop of the blow. Do you know this band I like the first he played?
Another bucket's on a give it to me.
Welcome back, ladies and joims. So we're gonna do a little segue into music, but actually, as soon as we started talking about music, then Eric reminded us that there was this awesome article in Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
About the top 20 monster movies that were made. So we're gonna hit that top 20, and then we're gonna talk about maybe our favorite monster movies, and then we're gonna hit that music hard and fast.
I would love. That's a perfect format. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to read down from the 20 from the bottom to the top, just so you can guys see if you even seen all these films. Continuing, the Pacific Rim Blowjob came in at number 20. The Thing by John Carpenter, 1982.
That's 19?
19.
Fuck
I know.
those motherfuckers.
I know, right?
All
It's
right,
really
I'm
good.
gonna keep my mouth shut.
Gremlins, 1984, 18. I know. The Mummy, 1932
Great
version.
one.
Cloverfield came in at number 16.
Solid.
I haven't-
Solid
I'm
offering.
so on
I
that
have
one.
not seen that. I can't get myself to watch
I
it.
like
Little
it.
Shop of Horrors, the Moranis film, number 15.
Rick
These are great.
Moranis.
These aren't horror films. These are monster films.
Right,
Keep in mind.
yeah.
Trimmers. Love
Love
Trimmers.
I like
fucking
Trimmers too.
Trimmers.
14. Okay.
Graboids.
Trimmers are 14. Pan's Labyrinth. Another stealth horror.
I don't count that as a monster movie.
Yeah, that was.
That
I
is a
count
World
it
War
either.
II historical drama.
I know, but it's really good.
But the hands thing
they count as
with the
that's the only
eyes.
thing is I don't count them as a monster movie, but I like
But
it.
the monster wasn't the star. That's to me what counts as a monster. Okay, keep going.
I'm with you. You and I
Keep going.
actually in agreement.
You're
Okay,
right.
Day of the Tripids, number 12.
I don't know what that one
It's
is.
been so long since I've seen it.
This guy
Okay.
has,
That was
like,
long
eyeballs in
ago.
his hands.
Yeah, it's,
No,
it
yeah.
came out in 1962.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it on like cable when I was a kid, and I don't think I got it then.
I used to watch the late night monster movies on the Turner Classic Movies
what
or
was
whatever.
that guy? Billy Bob did the.
Something like that.
Yeah. It was fun. It was on TNT.
I watched
Was
the
it
Twilight
TNT?
Zone.
It's TNT. I'm pretty sure.
And what's
The
your-
Blob came in at number 11,
Wait, the new one or the
1958.
classic? Good one.
Okay,
Good one.
it's actually a lot of fun. Actually,
Yeah.
it's a fun monster film. If you're into that kind of
God,
thing,
I
like,
missed those.
yeah, high concept, low execution. The Swamp Thing, 1982 version.
Great movie.
It is really good.
Horrible television series.
Yeah, but ignoring that for a bit. Number 9, Jaws, Steven Spielberg's the first blockbuster of all
Yeah.
time.
Is that
Jaws.
really a
I watched
monster
that last
movie?
summer when they released. Yeah,
I
dude.
wouldn't say
I think it
so.
totally is. I think it totally is.
I watched it
because
last
Jaws
summer
has
in
powers
the
beyond
theater.
that of a shark.
Dude, he was smart. He
Yeah.
was smart like a hunter. Like he wasn't a regular shark.
Okay, here's my second caveat. I don't agree with this being a monster film either, but The Toxic Avenger, 1984,
Who?
number 8.
Who was the studio that did that?
Yeah,
Oh,
who wrote this article? Because like
Mutant Sludge. Oh no.
Oh, it's that
this is someone
B movie
clearly who
studio.
had their favorite,
Yeah.
their favorite
Trauma.
like
Trauma,
their,
yeah.
Their best years were the 80s.
Yeah, the Trauma studio, and they still make movies to this day. Trauma
They
does.
do.
Number 7, Creature from the Black Lagoon, the '54 version, which
Classic.
I've never honestly seen. It's one of those things I love the imagery from it. I've never seen
I've
it. I'm
fallen asleep to it twice.
kind of embarrassed to admit. Was it not entertaining?
It's a classic. I can't get quite into it.
Okay. Number 6, this is a really good one. The Fly. Take either the
Ah,
58
yeah.
original or the Bloom,
Oh.
Jeff Goldblum remake,
The
which is really good.
Goldblum one is
The Cronenberg
fucking scary. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
That
really
one's
good.
Legit.
I need to watch.
Okay,
I've
now
got it in my truck.
top 5. These are really, really good.
Yeah,
Can I borrow it?
yeah.
Awesome. Okay, these are really good. I don't
How
have any
many
complaints
other
about
movies
these.
do you have in your truck?
4.
And The Fly just happens to be
The
one
Fly
of
and
them.
Altered State are both in my truck right now.
Wow,
So
Cronenberg,
funny.
there you go.
I fucking love crazy movies.
Alien, number 5, the 79 Ridley Scott
Great
version.
fucking monster
Fantastic.
movie.
Number 4, The Wolfman. I've never seen it either.
Great movie too.
1941.
Yeah.
Frankenstein, 31 version. I have seen that actually.
Better than every other version they've tried to do since.
No kidding, right? Are you looking forward to the new one?
I am.
I am too. I'm skeptical, but I'm looking forward to it. It may be the new Hugh Jackman Van Helsing debacle. It may be that again.
That's
But it
okay.
looks
I'm
cool.
okay. I'll give it a chance.
Isn't Eric Eckhart?
Aaron Eckhart. Yeah, he's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
But it's, gonna be,
Frankenstein's mom.
but it's
Frankenstein's
super.
monster?
But it's like
Monster.
superhero Frankenstein. That's what I'm saying.
I
He's
like
not
to leave
Dr.
Extraordinary
Frankenstein,
Gentlemen, and I hope it has that kind of flavor.
I hope so too.
All right.
Okay, now King Kong number 2, which I was surprised it wasn't number 1. It's actually my favorite.
The
Not
original
Peter
or
Jackson.
33 version.
right? Yeah.
But even though I think the Hugh Jackman version is vastly superior, I can give respect on the 33
Jackman
version.
version?
The Peter,
Jack-
he
Or
means
Peter Jackson. I'm sorry, Peter Jackson.
Talking about the Aussie a lot.
Well, Peter Jackson's version actually takes the creepiness out of the woman ape vibe. It really
Yeah.
does. Because the King Kong version from 1933
And
is still.
introduces large insects.
But anyway, it's still a cool film. You're right; it has large insects in it. So, but what's number 1?
Godzilla.
Critters.
Godzilla.
Godzilla.
Now,
That was really
wax
long
and wane,
list.
poetic gentlemen, please.
Well,
That
I
was
would put the
pandering
thing at
way too
1.
much to old films.
the Carpenter film.
I put The Thing, John Carpenter at number
Were they
one.
inspired
Which is a
Aliens.
remake actually as well.
The
Yeah, I
remake is like a
understand,
prequel, fanboy love.
nodding
I like
to the
it.
classics, but I mean,
Are you talking about the pandering as in the 50s, or because I do
like
think
to Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Frankenstein, Like it,
I legitimately
They don't
think
hold up.
John Carpenter's The Thing is the best monster movie I've ever watched in my life.
movie
It's really
is
good.
ridiculously scary.
And I think The Fly is a good like tie for second with Alien. And
'Cause it's so primal.
it is. And like Alien, actually I think Alien makes number 2 than The Fly.
Alien's a perfect
Because
monster
Alien
film.
is fantastic.
But I'm surprised about some of the omissions. What are some films that needed to be on this list that didn't make it?
Well,
Wes.
before I
American
heard
Werewolf
what this
in
list
London.
was, like I wanted The Lost
The
Boys
Descent.
to be on there.
You think it's a monster film?
Well, no, I mean kind of, but not like one. There's more.
There was no
than-
Dracula. There's actually no vampire
Yeah,
films on this
actually,
list.
no vampires. Do vampires count as monsters?
I would think so.
If
I think they
if
should.
aliens do, then fucking
think you're right.
It's like
monsters
mummies,
should.
vampires, werewolves. You know the old
The
But
classics.
one that I really liked, a recent one that I really enjoyed because it paid so much homage to Goonies was Super 8, which
Do I
Super
just
8's
have
fun.
to like watch Goonies tonight or something? Because
do
The
you
movie's
wanna borrow it?
perfect.
I think I have to.
Yep.
Super 8 was actually
have it.
really well done, and I
agree.
really liked it. I did get pissed about the Mike Myers Halloween poster, but I'll get over it.
Wait, what was? I
What?
don't remember.
That-
Oh,
The movie was made before that Halloween came out, and he had a Halloween poster.
But yeah, that's the
It's
thing. It's like
Dang it.
there's so many
You just
classic
ruined that
'80s
movie
horror
for me.
films that didn't make the list. There was no Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, does Freddy
there was
Krueger
no
count as a
yeah,
That's a
those,
monster?
slasher.
Those were like
Those
the
are
movies that I
slashers.
grew up with.
right. There was nothing. There was
Like
no Freddy
Hellraiser.
Krueger, no Jason.
right, it's slashers. Those are slashers.
Okay, so you make the distinction between slashers and horror and
it
monster
actually
movies.
is. It actually is a distinction.
Maybe monsters.
It's actually
is
a
just
genre.
There's no
more corny.
Halloween.
So then, how
there's no-
come? How come?
Michael Myers is a
Because
slasher.
Tremors is considered.
I can see
almost
that,
a
but you don't see
comedy.
Freddy Krueger as a monster. You
Yeah,
don't
so
see Jason
He's-
as a
he's
monster.
And like,
they're monsters in the sense of they're psychopaths, but if you look at the Dario Argento kind of Italian feel like slasher film,
Right.
those were born out of that. And so
Okay.
Freddy Krueger and Jason, slashers are like my favorite genre in the world. And there's a great documentary called Going to Pieces that you absolutely must watch about slasher films if you are into slashers. And they kind of document the whole history of it. But
Well, where does okay?
but
And,
John,
you're, and
John
you're,
makes a good point because he
Please.
said that what was it? The Critters was
Tremors.
a comedy.
Tremors.
Well, it's just like
It's a monster
It
movie.
has
Well,
a
no, but
slightly
it's-
corny.
it's a monster
I thought you were
comedy.
talking
Like
about
why
Critters.
wasn't
'Cause-
Starship Troopers in there? Because like I count that in the same.
It's a
vein
great monster film,
as
actually.
Tremors.
Well, like
I
I,
don't know
would
if
say,
that's-
Alien was a sci-fi movie, not a monster movie.
Well,
The first one-
sci-fi horror.
but
The
Ridley
first one's a
Scott-
horror film.
It
The
was
second one's a
sci-fi
sci-fi.
horror.
Ridley
but it
Scott
wasn't a
said
monster
the movie
movie.
was about
It is.
the alien, not Ripley. The subsequent movies were about Ripley and how she fought
Yeah.
against them.
So I think that's the distinction. I think it's more horror than it is sci-fi by a pretty good margin. Only in the first film, though. Only in the
Hey,
first film.
Nanook, that's my junk.
Well, if
Nanook doesn't care.
by that structure, I would almost count. I mean, not as much because you do care about the. Well, you care about. Okay, I'm thinking of The Descent.
That's so. I was about to bring that same thing up. Is that a
Actually,
horror
I-
film? Or
I
is that a
think that's-
slasher
I
film?
think that
Raw
could-
horror
that's a
movie.
horror film.
But I mean,
The
it's
slasher is the
still-
one.
So it's
in
more.
actual
It's more
force.
horror than it is monster. Then.
I would actually.
But they're being hunted in the same sense
I
as
would be.
Alien,
I would be willing
I'm
to
with
put
you.
that into the monster category because they're monsters that live underground.
Right.
and
And
they're.
I guess really Starship Troopers. That's
It's-
not really the point of the movie, but I could see how that would fit the
Man,
monsters.
and Paul Verhoeven talked about how this is his throwback to those '30s monsters films. That was his
I can
throwback.
see where that would count as a monster movie. You could go,
That's
oh yeah,
okay.
it was wet and moist.
Don't worry about it.
All right.
Dogs flopping.
Well,
his
what
jowls.
about you guys? What are your top 3 monster movies? I know I did mine.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that many, so I don't.
I guess
You saw The Thing.
Yeah.
Did you
so
like that?
Yeah. I mean, okay, so that. Yeah.
The original.
That's in the top 3.
19.
So the thing
Alien
is my
was
so
not
what
scary.
comes-
Alien is my first one.
That's
The
good.
Thing is my second.
Good one.
The third
So-
one, you could. I am obsessed with
Can
Frankenstein.
I put The Descent in
Sure.
there? Because I think then it's
What about-
probably Alien, The Thing, and
The Descent is a really good
because
choice.
it's just something about it being simple and raw.
Okay, here's
what
a
about
quick.
The
Okay.
Shining?
That's a
Horror.
ghost story.
Yeah, but it's about
Slasher.
it's about
It's not a monster film, though.
Well, neither is an alien. What's your distinction of a monster then?
Okay, well let me.
But
let
the
me-
focus is
Let
literally
me clarify.
on-
What's the focus
Hold
is
on.
on Nicholas? What
Nick-
Jack?
I
Nicholson-
understand. Hold on.
Maybe it
Let
can't be a
me
human.
let me just jump
Or
in
at
real
least
quick.
humanoid.
The different subgenres of horror, like monsters, are particularly a creature or a set of creatures that is terrorizing people, and then a slasher film is the one inexorable psychotic killer that can't be stopped until the end of the movie by the one person, the virgin. Or
I could
whoever
almost,
survives
I
to
can see
the end.
the Alien almost being a slasher
seen
film.
That's- I
Alien
don't-
can
that's-
do it, but yeah,
That's
it's
why I don't
definitely-
get why is Alien thrown in there. To me,
Because
it's still
it's-
sci-fi horror.
It is so much a monster movie because it's about the idea of man versus this monster, and then of course the fact that the android kind of betrays everyone, and he's also kind of considered a sub monster.
But you know what? We're talking about this shit, and Pacific Rim is number 20 on this list.
Yeah,
And it's definitely a monster
I don't know
film.
why I didn't
And then
rank that
Godzilla's
shit
the
up there.
first one.
I think
right?
Pacific
Wasn't
Rim
it?
would go on number 4 for me.
But you know what? When I think of
film?
monster films, I think of
Pacific
horror
Rim.
films, and I think like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original one,
Yeah,
is
that's a slasher.
horrifying, and it's a slasher.
It's a
film.
slasher, yeah.
Yeah, it's totally a slasher film in that sense. So I would before we had this conversation, I would have totally put Texas Chainsaw Massacre. at
Well,
my
but
number
I
3.
do want to hear. What do you think? I mean, just let's forget all the restrictions. Just what would you consider?
Yeah,
no
free up.
restrictions. I would say I would have said The Lost Boys would have been
Mm-hmm.
one of them.
But we're agreeing that vampires are monsters.
so that's
So
a monster
we
movie.
disagree
Yeah.
with the list, and
Also,
that's
We
it.
disagree with
Yeah.
that.
So The Lost Boys.
Okay.
Do you want that?
I probably would have put The Shining, but he's not a monster. And maybe
Where does supernatural stuff fall
I don't
under?
know,
Because
'cause-
like The Exorcist could.
It's worth thinking about.
Ghost stories, like religious horror, like supernatural thrillers, like those
Demonology.
kind of that kind of tips.
It
into
was a
that.
fun list.
What
I
about,
enjoyed
like-
the hell out of
Yeah.
it because I was embarrassed to admit
Slither.
Oh,
Perfect example
great.
of a monster
That's a
film.
My
great
number
monster
one,
movie.
actually.
And see, no, but that's a classic
James
monster
Gunn.
movie. It's,
Yeah.
it's a group or a series of monsters or one monster that terrorizes a group of people.
Okay.
I
throughout
watched
the
it
whole
a week
movie.
ago,
That's
actually.
kind of the classic.
And there's kind of a hint of corniness.
Can
that-
Nathan
And Nathan
Fillion.
Fillion is it?
Can he do anything
Sharknado's a
wrong?
monster movie.
That's my number one
Sharknado,
for sure.
You know, actually, I think, if you wanted to get really down to definitions that would be hard to figure out, teeth.
Could
Oh god.
could we
That's
could,
monster. That's
monster
horror.
film or horror?
That's horror. That is
we-
horrifying.
could we? I would like to do this sometime. Do a commentary track over Slither.
I would love to. That movie's a
Great
blast,
idea.
dude.
I mean, I'd be down.
At the 45-minute mark in that film, when you're showing it to people that don't know what they're in for, they get really uncomfortable and they stop laughing and like, this is supposed to be funny, right? And you just get serious. No,
No.
That's just one of my favorite movies.
it's just awesome. I showed it to Rodriguez and Galan recently, and they were like, "What the fuck are we watching?" I'm like, "Just let it wash over you. Just let it go."
That's
Yeah, I'd be down with that if we wanted to do something like that around the Halloween season.
yeah. No, I mean just
Or maybe in October, once
Did you,
every week, we'll just do a commentary leading up to Halloween.
That-
Wes, did you see Cabin in the Woods?
Oh, fantastic film.
Because
I'd call it a monster
yes.
film too.
That's a
it's a
homage
meta
to
movie.
monster
Yes.
and slasher
Okay.
and supernatural and
Yeah.
If I can count that as a monster movie, then Slither.
I'll
and,
give you that.
And
I'd totally
Cabin in
give
the
you that.
Woods.
That movie is so brilliant.
And The Lost Boys. There's my list.
I don't want to, but let's not discuss Cabin in the Woods because I don't want to
Give that away.
ruin
Yeah.
anything for
Everybody, if any of you are listening, go watch
Did-
Cabin in the Woods.
And it's not
I
what
think
you
it's on
think
Netflix.
if you haven't heard anything about
It
it.
is,
It is
it is.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's
It
one of the
is.
few times that if
I-
someone hadn't ruined the surprise for you, they're doing you a
It
favor.
have-
made
I
my
have-
year.
the
Sigourney
Blu-ray, the
Weaver's in it.
DVD, a digital copy,
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
and a low like a standard
I own
definition
multiple
and
copies,
high
yeah.
definition of
It's,
that.
it's
Like,
super solid.
it can go on all of my
you
devices.
if you love slasher films, if you love monster movies, if you love the original Evil Dead movies,
if you love Joss Whedon,
if you love Joss
That's
Whedon,
I think
go
it's a
see
spiritual
it.
spiritual successor
he-
to the Evil Dead.
I agree.
he didn't write it, but he would produce.
He produced it, yeah.
You could
You
feel.
could
like,
feel
Yeah,
his,
you could
his
see his-
puppetry.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He was
totally
pulling
good.
some strings.
But it was the guy who wrote Felicity who did that movie, right? What was his name?
Another great show.
Drew
God
something or
damn,
Drew Goddard.
I loved that girl.
Oh, speaking of great
Carrie
shows,
Russell. I dated a girl because she looked like Carrie Russell.
Is that
in
the?
high
Oh, we'll get into that.
Let's jump into music. Let's go into music because we were prepping for this 20
Right.
minutes ago.
Well played, Rolling Stone.
Rolling Stone, God bless you. A few things came out in music news recently. Nine Inch Nails introduced a new track from their new upcoming record, Disappointed, on stage in Fuji Rock Festival in Japan. Devo is doing a hardcore record. Hardcore in the sense that it's edgy rock and roll. I am very curious to see how that looks like. Backstreet Boys released their first full-length EP in, I guess, almost 10 years following their cameo appearance in the This Is the End.
That must have been why they were
The first
there.
time they got together.
I heard it's not as fun as the film, but I'm kind of curious about it, more for curiosity. But that's really all the music news I thought was terribly relevant. Robin Thicke had his record finally, his full-length EP, or full-length LP come out.
I have some music news that probably didn't make your list.
Please.
Because it's so hipster.
Oh, no.
You haven't even heard it
Hold
yet.
on. Let me get on the edge of my seat.
Let me put my jeans on that are really tight around the ankles.
Hold on. Okay.
He rolling his eyes.
Go ahead, Wes.
This is actually I don't consider myself a hipster, but I really like this band. So Desaparecidos.
Oh, yeah.
Sean, you don't know who
twice.
Desaparecidos is, do you?
Listen, I like Desaparecidos before anyone else even knew what Desaparecidos was in Mustang, Oklahoma.
So
Please.
Desaparecidos is like this indie rock band fronted by Connor Oberst.
It's Connor again?
Yes.
Okay. Did not make my list.
And he he put out an album in the early mid 2000s, and they haven't done anything since. 2012 they came out with a single, and then they've come out with 2 singles this year, and it looks like they're just releasing 2 songs at a time, and all 6 of the songs that I've heard have been really great, and they just released 2 last Friday.
It's funny you bring them up, because I was talking to a good buddy of mine, Michael Trepanier, and he was telling me,
What?
Eric, you've got to listen to this band. I'm like, does it have Connor's Oberst in it? And he goes, how'd you know? He loves Desaparecidos. He loves them. And I said, are you
Because
fucking
it's so much
kidding
better
me?
than his Bright Eyes stuff.
Well, he goes, the drummer overplays. It's completely
Really?
unnecessary. He says, he goes, but it's awesome. He loves the drummer in that band.
I wouldn't say he overplays. I
and-
was listening to him today, and I was like, just thinking he was really
Playing it simple.
the opposite of not
I-
underplaying, but just keeping it really simple.
Anyway, I don't know. Take it for what it's worth. You've got some friends out there that are Connor's fans.
Oh, I know. I don't need validation. I know it's good music. I know
Listen, I'll tell you what good music is.
I know what good music is.
Mr. I started as a music
But I
major.
started as a music theater major in an Ivy League school when I was a drummer overplaying things for Prince.
Are you about Andrew Lloyd Webber reference coming up?
Perhaps. I was into Andrew Lloyd Webber before he was popular with all the little kids.
I don't even know who Andrew Boyd Webber is.
See, that's why you're not hip.
Boyd.
I've seen Phantom of the Opera at least 18 times this year.
I saw the Phantom of the Upstairs Garage Room. His lesser-known prequel that predated Phantom of the Opera.
It was so dramatic, Sean.
My pants are so tight I can't feel my balls. That's what I think of hipsters,
because
by the
they
way.
have-
I'm so happy that none of these hipsters are going to be able to reproduce because their pants are so tight.
Their sperm count's gone.
It's gone. It's
You know,
just
I work
gone.
with a
It's
couple of
so
hipsters.
And they
happy.
hate so much. They
Yeah.
hate,
Good.
they hate
It's
everything
so
so
good
much.
it's so
They-
good for the world.
They probably
Thank
hate
you.
ejaculating, therefore they can't procreate. So that works just.
Ejaculation is so 2005.
Ejaculation was the name of my first band in 1993.
My mom's ejaculation was the name of my second band. We
We
released a secret garage E EP.
Only about 1 in 3 women really get it.
I wear an ammo belt because it makes me feel manly. With my little sister's jeans on. That's right. Fuck you guys.
Anyway, music.
That's actually pretty much all I had. Like I said, I really enjoyed Robin Thicke on. I don't like Jimmy Fallon that much, but he did an acoustic performance where Jimmy Fallon and the Roots were playing an acoustic version of Blurred Lines with children's instruments, so the little xylophone and woodblock. It was a blast,
That's
actually.
not creepy at all.
No, I thought it was really good. I thought it was really fun.
Did anybody hear the soundtrack to Lincoln?
Oh,
Nope.
I have some music news.
Please.
Are you ready for
Does
this?
Hootie and the Blowfish have a new record out?
You all ready for this?
Actually, Hootie and the Blowfish has been renamed Darius and the
Rucker.
Dreamtones. So, watching The Conjuring, which I thought, again, was a great supernatural thriller. If you
Number
haven't
4
seen
this
it,
week, I think.
you need to see this movie if you're into scary supernatural movies. But
Wait, what is it?
I'll only go
Conjuring.
where you go
Oh,
so
yeah,
you can
yeah.
hold me.
But to relate this to music, there was a song in there from Ryan Gosling's band, Dead Man's Bones.
Really?
And Ryan Gosling started this band because he and a friend were writing a musical about a monster and his girlfriend, and they couldn't get the funding for the musical. So they pulled together their resources, went to the studio, and cut this album in one go and put it out there.
Is
So
it any
that's-
good?
I actually enjoy it for ambient, kind of just I'm chilling out and doing stuff, like I'm drawing or I'm coding or something like that. But I've heard it pop up in more and more movies, like all over the place.
It's so avant-garde.
It's so avant-garde, but I didn't know it was Ryan Gosling until I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then I listened to it, it's like, Ryan Gosling, no!
He's taking over everything. He's talented, he's beautiful, he's...
Did you
You
know
won't eat a
that
cereal.
Ryan Gosling and Justin Timberlake used to live together when they were little kids? They
Yeah.
were buddies. They were best buddies.
Really?
They were in the
Best
Musketeers.
buddies.
I never even heard that.
What's his name?
Butt buddies.
Timberlake's mother was like a foster parent or something to him for
This,
a while.
this is crazy. We've
know,
had such
something.
great conversations tonight. I hadn't even gotten to any of the video game talking points.
All I know is that Shadowrun Returns has been dominating.
You've been
my
talking
week.
about Shadowrun for a week
Jizz,
now.
Jizz.
I've been playing Uncharted.
I was going
2
to comment
again.
on it. Talk about Shadowrun for a second, because I remember the last time I saw that game was in '95.
All right, so okay, so there was Shadowrun the pen and paper on tabletop. Then they came out with the Super Nintendo.
I played on
version.
Genesis actually.
Boom! Wow, that's old school.
Yeah,
Then it was on, 360, and
It wouldn't be
No,
older than...
that's
it never made the
Yeah.
360, did it?
it never made it.
there's a
360.
game called Shadowrun, though.
That might be completely unrelated.
Huh.
It's like a picture of a guy jumping.
Well, this is the one with the cow
Yeah, it
skull on the
died.
front.
Yeah, that's unrelated. This is a kind of a fantasy
clears things
steampunk
up.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Really nerdy. It was
were
like the
talking
nerdiest
about
game I
it
ever
on
played
Mobile
when I was a kid.
But I backed this Kickstarter.
Oh, is it a
for the
Kickstarter
guy-
game?
It's a Kickstarter.
I didn't
game.
know that.
And I backed it a year ago, actually. And they basically took the XCOM engine and they created Shadowrun Returns with all their rules in there. And it's very much like an old school pen and
This
paper
sounds
Dungeons
awesome.
and Dragons, but you play it on your desktop. I've been having a blast because it is exactly
I wish
like
it was on
that
Vita.
old school 1997, 1998 like period of fantasy RPGs with the isometric view, the little hand painted characters.
Before Diablo and all that other stuff.
Pretty close right around there, yeah.
Speaking of Diablo, I've been
Oh,
playing
PS3 version or the Xbox version?
No, just speaking in the vein of Diablo, I've been playing the shit out of
Torchlight 2.
Torchlight 2. Yeah. Oh, so
I
good.
saw that. I almost offered to play with you. Then I
John,
remembered
you
I
own
hated
it?
you. I do.
Well, let's play sometime.
I'm waiting for the Mac version.
Wait, but you have it for your
Steam.
PC.
He's Steam
I
on
can
Mac.
boot over to PC, but I got tired of booting over to play on Windows for Torchlight 2.
Uh-huh.
So I'm waiting for the Mac version to come out, and they've been dragging their feet on it.
But that game's been out for how long? And they haven't-
Almost 2 years.
Uh,
It's Mac. It's typical Mac
almost a
story.
year.
though.
Just jump
actually.
over. We'll play. We'll have fun. Because somebody
I
won't.
don't like gaming on Windows 7 on my Mac. I'd rather just own a PC gaming machine, so I'm going to buy one.
Okay. Well, second
Well,
you do. let
there's
me
two
know.
things I have to talk about. There's two things I'm super excited about. One I'm going to hold off on. Wes, the game I've been waiting for a year. You got in for the beta.
I wanna talk about
I
this.
literally applied 20 minutes after it was posted online.
Wait. Are you in Elder Scrolls Online?
No.
Oh, well then I don't give a fuck.
Wes made it into Killzone's Vita beta on Killzone Mercenary on Vita. Are you digging it?
Oh my god.
Will this be the one that kills Halo?
Oh, shut up.
It's
Shut
already-
up. Shut up.
Listen, I gotta get my barbs before I switch to PS4. So
So
Get your barbs in now because this game looks awesome.
this game runs on the Killzone 3 engine.
The PS3 engine.
Yes, the Killzone 3 PS3 engine.
Yes.
And it's on a Vita. It's on a handheld, and it looks so good, and it
Has a handle.
it handles really well, and it doesn't have the two triggers on the, what do you call them, triggers I guess, on the back. But the one thing I was worried about was like running, and they've handled it really well. You can do it like the running.
Double
in
tap
game.
on the back touchscreen.
Yeah, and that's iffy because like sometimes it doesn't work as well as I want it to. But what you can do is you tap circle and you just take off running.
That's fine.
Can you scream at your Vita like run and it will run? Or?
You can.
Run!
It's like
Xbox off.
and it's
Xbox
it's better than
kill.
the circle in my opinion. Like that works better than any of the
Okay.
other running. Like I've played all the other shooters that are on there except for
You've bought them all.
Uh,
Black Ops.
Black Ops, and
Resistance, and
I haven't played Unit 13.
It's really solid. It's actually probably one of the better shooters on the system, if not the best.
I never really played the multiplayer parts of the Killzone games.
Which are awesome. It's
But-
great multiplayer.
I've been playing. That's all that I have for this beta, and it's a lot of fun. It's I'm really excited to have a game that I'm excited to play online with my Vita on. Like, I'll
No,
be,
I'm happy for you. Like I'm really happy for you.
I'm still talking, Sean. Sean,
He's-
shut up.
I'm just waiting for him to be an asshole about the Vita because I love that system so much.
Yeah,
No, I'm not the asshole about the Vita.
I seriously play that as
Everybody
much,
wants
if
to be an
not
asshole
more than my
about it.
PlayStation.
What are you looking at
3.
me for?
It's because you are the asshole about the Vita.
It's really. It's
I want to buy you both
I don't think I've
Vitas
ever
so you can
seen
play
two.
this game.
I
It's
would
going to be
like
that
to
good.
one.
It's-
Gorilla is such a good developer.
I'm so glad that they finally got a really good, solid shooter. on
Do you have your Vita here
Yeah.
at your house?
Yeah.
I have it
Can you
with
show
me.
us?
I will say that they patched it, and when they patched it, they made one. They fucked something up on
Everything
it
went
because
shit.
No. It's the respawn time now. Like,
Shortened it.
Like something happened to where I'm not leveling up like I should, and so it takes a long time to respawn.
Now I
And
gotta wait forever.
that didn't happen when I was until that first patch, so I need to like write in.
I would like to see that before we go home.
Yeah, you should.
Me too.
Definitely.
I'm really
I
looking
want
forward
to
to
hear
it.
these graphics because you say these things like it's built on the PS3 engine, and I'm like, in the palm of your hand.
I'll say the texturing isn't quite as good as some of the stuff, but it's as
The
good
polygon
as
counts.
early generation.
power of the PS3.
It's
in the
definitely
palm
as
of
good
my hand.
as it looks like.
Sorry, I
some
had
PS3
to steal that
games.
from Spider-Man 2. I
It's
love
very
it.
good.
Also, tomorrow, are you going to buy Dragon's Crown? Because
I
I'm
am,
going to
yeah,
buy
that's
Dragon's
the-
Crown
yeah.
tomorrow.
Are you
Which
buying
looks-
it on Vita? Or?
Yes, both.
Yes, both.
Both.
Fuck! Now I have to.
Because I really, really want my wife to play the big busty warrior
Oh.
chick while you and I
I'm
just go
so
crazy.
excited because I love side-scrolling beat 'em up games. I love. I'm
But it's an
so
RPG. It's an action RPG.
But it's
Shut
it's,
your
it's,
mouth.
It's,
Dead serious.
it
Wow.
is. I'm
Yeah.
so excited. Have you would like the hand-drawn sprites?
Listen, I have not heard anything. Remember, you have to remember, I am firmly entrenched in the Microsoft
I
camp right
forget
now.
that
Okay,
this
well,
Dragon's
do you know
Crown-
who Vanillaware is, the company?
Yes, I know
Okay,
who they are.
so you should. It's their style, but it's hypersexualized.
Japanese.
It's very, very Japanese.
Oh yeah, I don't normally go
So
for
if
that
you
kind
had
of
a,
thing.
if it came
But
on
it's
an
a
Xbox, would
beautiful
you be
action
interested in it?
RPG beat 'em up.
Maybe.
Only because friends are
Imagine
playing it.
Castle Crashers
I mean,
with really
yeah, I
beautiful
mean,
textured
I
sprites.
did
It's not your-
Star Wars
and-
trading cards
and a
Lord of
Final
the Rings
Fight
trading cards
style
because my friends were
layout,
doing
Is it like
but-
Odin Sphere?
Not too
I
far
thought-
from
I
it.
thought that could
Okay,
be
so
something
it's kind
you'd
of
be into.
cartoony-ish.
Yes.
No,
Okay.
not.
I might. That
For
might be cool.
illustration
We'll show you some
style
stuff
and
later. It
Okay.
looks
kind of the
awesome.
RPG
Yeah,
style.
I don't
I'm
like
super
Japanese
excited.
style
I love it
anything.
when they do that crazy. I mean, I'm still waiting for a fucking Beyond
That
Good and
your
Evil
sister does.
sequel.
does.
Which
You may
I'm
get
never
it.
gonna get.
You may
Really?
get it.
Maybe.
You heard about the Kickstarter for it, right?
She'd play it.
What?
You did not hear about the Kickstarter for the
least
Beyond
I
Good and
must
Evil
back it right now.
sequel? Yeah, there
Excuse
you
me,
go.
Liz, if you're listening, please write in and tell us your thoughts on Dragon Crown. because
please,
we think
because-
maybe you would be interested.
I would love to hear a woman's
It is
perspective on this game.
misogynistic, though, so I don't know.
The
how you feel
game
about
is
that.
it's
She'll
almost
forget it.
distracting how
Fine.
overly sexualized the female protagonists are in this game.
It's funny.
but
She's got some issues of Bleach, and
because Bleach has giant
no,
breasted
she doesn't
characters.
have issues with it. She has
A few
paperback
issues, yeah.
of it,
Oh,
and so like she had to censor it for my dad.
understandably.
Did she like drawn it
He's
with
like,
black marker?
"What is this?" she had to
Liz, were you
explain
like
that.
all? It's
Oh,
super
poor
sexy
Liz.
time.
Now, Dragon's Crown looks like a blast. I am super excited about it.
I'm so
This
glad-
and Killzone are my two most anticipated games of the fall.
Killzone is that game the Vita has been needing. I just don't think it's going to help sell systems.
No,
It's-
Killzone doesn't
The
do
people
that.
that are going to buy that game already own Vitas.
Right, and I'm excited about it. 2 games for free came out with Xbox Gold membership this last or 2 weeks ago. Crackdown and Dead Rising 2.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're following
I
the
have to get this.
PlayStation. The reason I bring
Yeah,
it up
I
is
knew
because
that, but I
they're
didn't-
following the PS Plus model,
I forgot
which
it's
is
August.
awesome for gamers. It's taking everything that gamers have enjoyed with PS Plus for almost 2 years now, and Microsoft understands they've got
They're
to
only doing
adopt.
it for a year, though.
Really?
Yeah, they're not. They've only dedicated to a year of.
I think they're
I
testing
bet,
the
I bet
waters.
it's going to do well, and they'll keep keep
very
it up.
well.
I think it will
Because you know how much money Crackdown is making right now?
Although
Zilch.
I have to say, like, I have a ton of.
But it's a great game.
I have a ton of virtual friends on my PlayStation Friends network.
Yeah.
But like only like I probably have 40 or 50 people on there. Most of them I don't know. They just send.
How many of them are Plus members?
Not very many. Maybe.
It's gonna
like
jump.
10.
It's gonna
Dead
jump for
Rising
PS4.
2, though.
That's a
Good
good game.
Evil.
Really good game.
You know why they're
Hasn't
doing
kicked off
that?
yet.
Because 3 is a release title for. Oh, that's what it was. That's what I was trying to remember. That's why I want to one
For Xbox One.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a good
Dead
game.
Rising 3. Dear God.
That's a release
Now-
title.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a. Is it gonna be when the launch window?
Launch title.
Is that
Like, it's gonna
Xbox-
come out the day of.
No.
Yep.
Xbox exclusive.
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dead
Yeah.
Rising 2 was out on PlayStation.
I mean,
Not
Dead
for a
Ri-
launch one
Oh, I'm getting
title.
Dead Rising and Left 4 Dead mixed up.
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead will never be an exclusive to Xbox.
No. Dead Rising.
I retract
Dead
that.
Rising.
Left 4 Dead is an exclusive to Xbox.
yes,
Yeah.
no. Yes, no, yes, no.
It
yes,
is. Left 4
no,
Dead is.
yes.
It's on Xbox
Yeah.
and PC.
Left 4 Dead is the first-person shooter.
Right.
That's
And
exclusive
Dead
to
Rising.
Xbox.
Oh, the mall one. Right. Sorry. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, see, you're doing
No,
the same
no,
thing.
no.
I
Okay,
got
so
confused.
which
Dead-
one is coming out?
The mall one.
Dead Rising,
Rising.
Yes.
for Xbox One exclusively, at least temporarily.
Okay, it'll be
first.
temporarily.
At first,
I
6
think.
months. I'm sure they're
Interesting.
developing it for both platforms. Now,
No.
this is the one I'm really interested to hear what Sean's brilliant self is going to talk about.
Uh-oh.
Because this looks awesome, and I was skeptical as hell
Should I?
about the multiplayer for Batman Arkham Origins.
Oh my god.
It looks
Have you-
fantastic.
Yeah,
if this is the way you're going to do it, this is
His
fantastic.
I've had a
eyes rolled
boner
up in the
all
back of
day.
his skull and he quivered a little bit.
Dude, I
Pretty
didn't even
sure
go to
his
the bathroom
veins
stall.
are
I just shut my office door and beat off right there in front of the monitor.
I'm getting more and
I
more
am
excited
Beat-Man.
for this.
Dude.
It looks
Origins.
good, doesn't it?
It looks. I think they've won me over.
I love those Batman games.
And it's been good so far, and I don't think they're going to drop the ball on this.
It's
I know
my
it's not
favorite
Rocksteady.
games. I don't care. I
It
think
looks
it's gonna be
really
incredible.
good.
The fact that they're bringing in multiplayer.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was super skeptical of multiplayer because I was so worried it's going to be like some sort of stupid hunter mode. But this looks
It
really
sounds
good.
cool. And
Why
it's
don't
like-
you go ahead and break it down for the folks at home?
Well, the stuff I've seen so far online looks like it's going to be Batman and Robin versus 2 sets of thugs. So it's 2 versus 3 on 3. So the thugs, their goal is to basically take down Batman and Robin. And Batman and Robin, their goal is to take down all the rest of the thugs. So you have 2 teams, but they're broken into 3 squads.
Can you imagine like the scores that you're going to have to like try and
Yeah.
back up with your teammates?
And it's going to require, much like Left 4 Dead, it's going to require team play for you to succeed.
Could you imagine like Robin and Nightwing together, or Catwoman and like Nightwing?
This
or,
sounds like a
Catwoman,
fantastic,
Batman?
and the thing about it is, it plays on the strengths of the characters.
Batman and
They're not
Azrael.
going Call of Duty 1 versus 1,
Right.
last man standing type of mentality. They're doing this really wisely to where you use the elements of stealth to your favor.
I love
Man,
that.
I wonder how much influence they've taken from The Last of Us.
I don't know.
Because that multiplayer, I've been playing a lot of that lately, and it is so good and so frustratingly
I think we're going to see
hard.
a lot of group challenges, like duo challenges, like
Mm-hmm.
the stealth challenges, the hunting challenges, and the fighting ones. And I'm hoping because they did such a good job in Arkham City of giving Catwoman a different style from Batman. I really hope
Mm-hmm. She did
that
a great
each
job separating the
character
style.
you get gets
Oh.
a separate style, and then you can kind of plot like, okay, we need a heavy hitter, so I'm going to bring Batman in, and we want somebody fast to kind of nip the outside, so we're going to bring like Nightwing
Yep.
or Catwoman in.
I'm just so happy that they didn't give Robin a shaved head.
All right, Microsoft confirms Xbox 360 headset adapter for Xbox One. Not a surprise considering the fact that people invested a
shit they
whole
got.
lot in those $125
Yeah,
headsets.
like those
Wait,
Turtle
so-
Beach ones that are like ridiculously expensive.
I
and
want-
nice.
How
I
much is
really-
the adapter? This is news to me.
I have no idea.
It's probably going to be like $30.
Probably.
Our
Because
headsets...
they just released the prices for everything else, like a headset, a charge cable, controllers.
Our PlayStation 3 headsets compatible with PS4.
Yeah, they're all Bluetooth. It's gonna be fine.
That's confirmed.
$49.99.
Because if I go out and
It
buy
was confirmed
a $200 Astro
It wasn't by Shuhei. It was by somebody else.
because I really want an Astro game.
So
headset.
do we have any news on the launch titles for PS4 yet?
News as in what's confirmed.
What did they confirm or anything at all?
They confirmed all the launch window titles. They also confirmed all the
Killzone.
launch day 1 titles.
Killzone is launch day 1. Assassin's Creed?
Drive Club, Assassin's Creed, I think was
Are
Call
those
of Duty
all-
Ghosts.
Wait, is Black Flag, Assassin's Creed? Those are all launch day, right?
That's releasing on everything
Right.
but Wii U.
Right.
And all the-
Interesting enough about Batman.
no multiplayer in Wii U.
Thank you for stealing my thunder, Eric.
I do
was
it all
going
the
to
time.
say that.
I love
you
it.
son of a bitch.
Listen,
It's on my notes here.
Wii U will continue to
Steal
survive because
Wes's
grandmothers
thunder.
and small children don't know what a gaming console
I'm actually
is.
about to talk about that here in just a moment.
But I am going to buy one
Really?
Okay, I stole his
because motherfucking Wind Waker's coming out in HD.
Who gives a fuck at this point?
I actually,
dude?
I do.
I
Wind
actually
Waker
would
is one of my
probably.
favorite. You saw my
It's
five.
a beautiful game.
You
It's
saw
a
my
beautiful
top
game.
five.
Oh,
That was
did
my
you
number
see?
two.
There's that animated. The team that did the TMNT animated movie
Yeah.
did a Legend of Zelda short. Have you seen that?
It didn't look that impressive to me.
Really?
No.
I would
Kinda
watch that
boring.
television show.
It looks like the Clone Wars.
I was.
I was okay
would've-
with the Clone Wars for the first season.
I'm not saying like it's a bad thing. Just aesthetic.
Wait, actually, let me
design.
I really
rewind
loved that TMNT
You mean the Clone
movie.
Wars, like the 3D ones, or the awesome 2D animated ones?
He's talking about 3D one.
Right, scratch that.
3D.
The awesome 2D.
3D one was
animated
actually
ones.
awesome. That was Tartakovsky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, It was like right after Samurai Jack, and it was hot.
It's awesome.
But did you see TMNT?
Yeah,
I
Do you
love
not
that
like it?
the newest
stylized
one.
Grievous.
I love it.
Not the
The CG version.
It's CG, but not the series, the movie.
Yeah, I own it. It's awesome. It's
yeah.
it's the fourth movie.
Right,
It actually
right,
is
yeah,
fourth.
it is, yeah.
in canon.
So that's why I was like really. I mean, this is never gonna happen, but I thought it was
like
really
it.
cool.
I keep hoping for another TMNT movie.
Yeah, I was going to talk about the Wii U sales continue to plummet. Nintendo recently released its fiscal report for the 2013 year so far. We are halfway through the year, and it has only sold in the U.S. around 160,000 units. It's selling worse, to give you perspective, than the Vita.
Didn't it sell 160,000 this month
No.
or the last month? I thought it was like.
It's sold 160,000 units in the continental U.S.
Right, because they have no
6.
titles.
It is bad.
It is just a rehash over.
The irony of it is the
over.
number one selling title for the month of July was a 3DS title. So Nintendo is not.
3DS
They're
is
not
so
dead.
good.
Just
No.
the Wii U is
The Wii U
dying.
is so bad off.
making
It's
a
worse
lot-
than
I'm
the
gonna buy
Vita.
one.
I think I saw something where they were making a lot of money off of Street Pass somehow.
They made that's 3DS.
I know.
Yeah. And the Wii U Basic actually went down to $199 at Walmart in Canada. Expect a price drop next month. You can quote
Dude,
me on that.
Have-
expect for
any of
Christmas,
you held
99
that-
bucks.
You think that low? They can't afford to take a
It's
loss.
gonna be
on the hardware.
$100, and it's gonna have 2 shitty games with it.
Have any
That
of you
much?
held the
It might be
controller?
150
Yeah.
with like an extra controller. and
It's
some
huge.
games.
It feels like compared, like after playing with the Vita, it just feels like a flimsy piece.
It
of
feels
garbage.
flimsy. It feels empty, and it's single
It
touch.
probably is empty.
How about that Ouya?
Right. It's,
Dude.
it's- I'd rather buy the Ouya than a Wii U at this point.
Ouya, now with checkers. Oh, you
Whatever
mean
Android
wait? You mean I
game
just bought a
screen.
smartphone I can plug into my TV?
Here's a game you
Yeah.
guys might be grateful for. A sequel. Red Dead Redemption 2 looking
Yeah.
more real and
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
am
Very
excited about that.
enthusiastic.
Red Dead was a fantastic
And
game.
Doom 4 has been
That was
effectively
in my-
shelved.
That was in
Good.
my top 5 of this
Restarted,
generation. I think.
not shelved.
But to
Red
continue
Dead,
in the
I saw
Nintendo
that,
news, Wii just crossed the original Wii just crossed 100 million units in the worldwide sales units sold. It is an incredibly good selling piece of hardware. Not the best selling of all time. Still, for consoles in the U.S., the PlayStation 2 is still the best selling, about 140 million.
PlayStation 2 was a legit system.
Yeah, it's huge.
I loved mine.
Me too.
I loved
Both
mine
of them.
dearly.
And yeah, Bioshock Infinite has sold 4 million copies. Cliff Bleszinski stands up for Fez 2 developer. Did you guys read this article at all?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, the developer got
Threw up his hands
butthurt.
and-
He got butthurt for starting a fight on Twitter and lost.
Cliffy
He didn't
B needs
just
to
lo-
quit trying to defend people and just work on making not shitty
didn't-
games.
He didn't just lose. He was like, "Fuck it, I don't need this," and then quit.
Yeah, but
That
you know
means
what?
lost on the
Well,
internet.
Did
I
he?
quit.
I liked Fez. I really did. But if you are so fragile as to not take a fucking beating on Twitter, which is nothing but trolls half
Well,
the
I
time anyway.
think all we were seeing was the tip of the iceberg because
Sure.
he was citing like the culture of gaming. He doesn't want anything to be a part of because he's sick of people like Call of Duty fanboys who like threaten to rape your mother and children whenever you change the sniper rifle reload
Right.
rate by a 0.1 second, and like you don't ever get positive feedback because I mean in terms of vocally or in comments. The only way you know think something did well is by sales numbers, because no one like writes in and says great game. The people who write in though are like, you asshole, you fucking.
You changed it by 0.25 seconds for reload time.
Yeah.
And you
I was
die.
really
Goes
funny, though,
up.
is like
It's
when
bitch
you,
and gripe.
when you look at those types of games and you look at the people that are playing them and then you look at they're complaining. Yeah, I know Nanook.
He's pissed.
And they're complaining. It's kind of funny because it's like these violent. And I know it sounds weird that I'm saying this, but like these violent blow 'em up games that attract like adolescent kids, and they're just like wanting to shit all over everything in the whole wide world. It's like, yeah, I'm not really surprised that a bunch of 14-year-old kids are pissed that you change something because that's their whole world.
But I don't think it's even just like Call of Duty, given that convenient link between violence and behavior like that. It can be any game. It's just the people who are more vocal, the comments that stick in your head at the end of the day are probably the ones that are
The loud
hurtful like
minority.
that. Yeah.
Right. I just think that those loud
Vocal
minority
minority.
ones come from the hackers. And these are all games I play. I'm not saying that they cause violence. I'm saying that they attract a certain demographic of young adolescent
They attract a
male,
mentality.
Yeah.
and those are the types of people that are going to be douchebags
Yes.
back to you. So I'm not surprised when I hear that people are bitching about God of War or fucking
Gears
Call
of
Duty, The
War.
Last of Us, or Gears of
Or
War,
bros
Halo, or
bros
whatever.
in arms, for
Bros in
guns.
arms. It's that type of game attracts that type of crowd.
Right.
I'm not saying that causes them to go, oh, it's violence. No, no.
It's a symptom of a behavior
Yeah.
more than a behavior itself.
It attracts those little fuck faces, those little douchebags that don't understand. And I think people our age, and I'll loop John Benson into this, even though he's not our age.
He's a fetus. It's okay.
He's
he
a
understands.
fetus. He's in there. I think people our age that grew up with Atari 2600 and
We
grew
had
up through
Atari.
Nintendo, like we didn't get the luxury of having
The
these amazing.
anonymity.
We literally went through each system. It was like, holy shit, graphics will never get better than this, and then they do.
Every time.
Games will never get better than this, then they
And they
do.
do.
So for people to grow up now with the Xbox and the Xbox 360. Or the PlayStation 2 to the PlayStation 3, and then now moving into the PS4, like they don't know anything else, so they're just gonna bitch and moan about this. Fuck that! I used to play Haunted House, which
Yeah.
is like a blob of pixels.
That game was
trying to
brutal, too.
find its way through shitty pixels that were never turned on.
I want to fast forward to like a Sean Ferguson in 20 years, or at least a version.
Back in my day.
Who was like, whenever I was growing up on the Xbox 360, we didn't have his virtual reality.
Right,
shit,
this virtual reality shit.
My last story of the call. I always save my funniest ones for last. Zynga sues over application using the With Friends banner. What is the name of that game, gentlemen?
Fucking everything with friends.
Bang with Friends, a sex app sold on the iOS store. Zynga is suing over this app choosing what it is it matches you up with people that want to have sex online quickly and easily.
What is
I read a
this?
BuzzFeed article.
Bang
and
with Friends.
It's called Bang with Friends, and you can put in like this app, and it only sees other people that have that app. But I read a BuzzFeed article that will show you a list of your friends that are using the app,
Ah, fantastic.
even if you don't have it. And so I did it, and I was like, I just like 3 people, and I was like, a little secret. Just now when I see them on the street, I'm like, I don't want to shake your hand.
I know where they've been.
I know that's been shaking.
I know you've been banging something.
So you saw me?
Yes, Wes, I saw you.
I hope those friends find each other.
Well, they're all dudes.
There's an app that
oh,
So I hope they're into that.
I hope they find each other.
pulls all of your social media friends, and then it'll alert you if like both of you are interested in each other, and it's the same hookup concept. I forget what it is though. It's not Bang with Friends.
Is it the thing we do when we wrap up and tell everyone to come check out our hot profiles? Wes, are you giving me the? He's giving me the potty dance. I think.
We've been going for a while.
It is
Wrapping
about that
time.
time.
We've been going for a while.
It's that time.
Is anybody going to buy the Chromecast? Does it look
No.
cool to you guys?
Oh yes, I am.
It looks cool. I think here's the thing: the death of the console is going to look just like that. I think the death of the console is going to be just something we plug into our TV about the size of our thumb, and we'll already have the controller for it. And like, holy cow, why do I need to buy?
I
a
think
console?
I'm going to wait until Sean tells me why I need to buy it.
My friend Jinkin has one and he loves it.
Jinkin Ham?
Yeah, I think he got one.
It's got because you can do screen mirroring.
Yeah,
That's it.
I didn't know you
You
knew.
have a computer. You have a game console.
dude, the design community is not that big.
I forget, but yeah, but okay. Didn't know
Jinkin's
you-
awesome.
And
Yeah.
here's it's a whole. I know it's a big investment. $30 to buy the
I'm in
Chromecast.
because Apple fucked me, and so
On
my
Apple TV?
iMac cannot stream because it's the one generation. Even though I bought it when they said they had AirPlay, It's the one right before, so I can't AirPlay from my Mac to my TV.
No kidding.
Yeah, pissed me off. But I can Chromecast, so I'm going to spend $30 and do that.
$30 whole. It works with Mac and PCs.
Which means I can
I'm going to buy this and
download
try
something
it.
and then stream it right to my TV.
Yeah.
But you have to download it on your phone.
No.
No, it's
No, it's a little USB stick. You just pop in.
HDMI.
It's an HDMI stick.
Yeah,
And then you
HDMI.
set it up on whatever device you want.
Whatever one you want. It can be your computer. It can be your PS3. It can be your whatever.
I thought it streamed stuff from your phone to where it.
It can.
Yeah.
But I'm going to
Or it
stream
can be your
stuff from my
laptop, your
iMac
desktop,
in my
or your
office to
tablet.
my TV.
That's what I'm saying, Wes. Is this is a $30
So, no.
screening
Can
streaming
I
device.
stream stuff from my PlayStation to here?
Yes.
Anything
Well,
that works on a Wi-Fi hub.
If you have an HDMI connector there, yeah.
So I can watch my iTunes movies on my.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, any type
Now
of
you
media,
know you want
just sold me.
$30.
$30, right?
$30. That's a
I
great deal.
thought
Apple
it was
TV
a device specifically for phones. And
No.
that's- because that's why when we talked about it last week, I was like, well, won't it show a
iPad,
higher?
phone, Galaxy Notebook, Galaxy, whatever the
Any
fuck.
Android,
Yeah,
Mac,
Android.
Linux device will stream
It's
to
huge.
it.
It's
Phone,
huge.
tablet.
It's a really big deal because Apple TV is like,
Son of
oh
a-
shit, because that was their market.
Not anymore.
Not anymore because even refurb Apple TVs or iTVs or whatever are $77. This thing is $30.
I totally thought
Suck
it was
it,
just
Apple.
No, not for phone.
Streaming
I'm
on
happy.
to your TV.
I'm real happy. So yeah, there you go. Now you know you
sold,
why you
all
need to
right,
get one.
I guess I gotta go buy something.
You can.
That's-
you can
that's why I
buy
brought it
my
up.
I'm gonna
iTunes.
buy two copies of
This is what the new
Dragon's
console is
Crown
going to look like. It's
Yeah.
not going to be a $300 or $400 or $500 investment. It's going to be a $30 device that ports games we already have on a piece of hardware we
On
already own.
Steam.
Boom.
I wonder if maybe Chromecast works with Steam to. That would bear some
That's
experimentation.
what I'm saying. That's what it's going to look like.
Well, I mean, if
Why not? It's just a screen here.
yeah.
Exactly.
So it basically is working the same as like
Put
the
some
Vita
Torchlight
running
up
the
on there.
PlayStation 4 in a
So
sense.
if
Yeah,
you plug a
absolutely,
controller
'cause
in
you're
your
doing-
computer
Son of
and
a
then like
bitch.
close that and then mirror the game, then you could just
You got it.
Let's
that-
double bag this bitch.
let's double bag this bitch and try it.
I don't know.
That doesn't work. In fact, it's less effective.
In fact, teabag us, John
Yeah,
Benson.
let's do this.
I'm gonna put my nuts in your mouth. This is where you
Please
you
do.
can find my nuts.
Please do.
On the Twitters, you can find me at pretty_sketchy.
I got scared, John Benson.
The noise. Who
And,
made the noise?
And John actually avoided dick jokes all recording.
Before
Oh,
we
I
started
got some
recording, it
good
was
stuff to
all
talk
dick
about.
jokes.
Some pickles.
Pickles.
All right, keep going.
Pickles are just drunk cucumbers.
We got to do this. We got to.
And on Instagram, you can find me as kinda_sketchy. Eric, where can we find you on the interwebs?
You can find me at Twitter at John Eric Osborne at twitter.com. I love it if you guys follow me. I put bad jokes up on there and shit like that.
Hi, Sean.
Wow. I didn't expect to be next. That's a big honor. Twitter.com/inkstatic or Instagram.com/inkstatic. I post up drawings, doodles, food porn pictures, and sometimes I.
You've been in the
tweet
food
at you.
porn drawing thing. I'm trying to catch up with you on some of the drawings.
Oh, I'm
You've
gonna
been
plug
inspirational.
myself so hard right now.
Yeah, damn
I
right, you
just
should.
I just got done building a website for a winery. You should go check it out. CarpenterCreekCellars.com. They're great. I've been doing all the visual identity for them, so very proud of it. Took a while since I built it from the ground up. So yeah, check that out. Wes.
I'm at Twitter. I'm Wes Gedeen at Twitter. How do you say that? I'm fucking it up.
You can
How do you
find me
spell
Follow
at
me at Twitter.
Twitter.com/WefDD.
Wes Gedeen. WHESKEY. D-A-N. I think
We're
I've
really
had too
bad
much.
at this.
I have had too much to drink tonight, so let's just
Maybe
get
it's
out
the
of this.
beer.
And the rum.
Yeah, I did have a bit of
Oh, you guys had rum.
A bit of rum.
And remember,
That's why you keep touching
it is illegal in the state of Oklahoma for the owner of a bar to allow anyone inside to pretend to have sex with a buffalo.
What if
Where?
you actually have sex?
I've-
Yeah,
Wait,
that's
what
it's
about
okay
a
as long
fake
as you do have
buffalo?
sex.
Yeah, you gotta follow
They have
through.
those statues.
It is illegal to pretend to have sex with a buffalo in the state of Oklahoma. If you're an owner of a bar, it is illegal.
Oh, I'm not.
So if you're a
member of the
patron,
bar.
you can
I'm
just
okay
pretend all you
then.
want.
Yeah,
If you're the owner,
yeah.
patrons are a different story.
You have to have sex. You can't fake it. The owner will know, and he'll throw you out.
Good to know.
You know what? On that note,
That was my button right there. Go.
Go plug yourself.
we'll get it in post.